number 4 is upon us here on NFHell, where we dissect every single game from the previous week. We make predictions about the next week. We give you picks from our guy, Ricky. We tell the truth, and we talk football. I'm your host, Midwest Jet. Welcome back, everyone. I am here with my 3 boys. We're all in NFL together. Dames, Marvs, welcome.
Hey, buddy. I got the best tackle to ever play the game, Walter Jones, joining the show.
Welcome, Walter. Walter, please. G-Man Jazz coming in from small town Iowa. How you doing tonight?
Back in hell, boys. Back in hell.
Well, here we have it. And last but not least, our boy from Denver area, Colorado, Gobo.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, Dames, you're forgetting about a guy named David Bakhtiari. So I don't know what exactly you're thinking over there. Also, and I'm just trying to focus and not just like laugh hysterically at Jess's fucking mask and the smoke coming out of his saw. I love it.
NFL, dude. NFL.
NFHell, indeed.
And kind of how we've done it the last couple weeks. It's coincidentally, I don't know how this is working, but Dion Primetime may have gotten I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of the same boat right now. We're all like, well, we kind of saw that coming, even though we didn't, but we did.
I want to hear 2 guys in particular's comments on this. Obviously Gobo's, but Joust last week was like, oh, they're going to get blown out every week until they do. Shut up. What say you, Jess?
Chalk it up now, bud. You know, I'm not a big college football fan anyway, so the story was good while it lasted. They're back to reality, and it probably is going to happen again this week now. Possibly.
Gobo, what happened? I mean, your best player was out.
All right, so
question mark.
I'm just going to say that the scoreboard, no, I'm just kidding. No, Colorado is, I mean, we're into NCAA hell now. Like, and I'll tell you, as a Buffs fan, you know, I kind of gave up on college football about a decade ago. It felt good to care about it again. And then, and of course, Saturday was also my birthday. So I went out with some friends. We went to a bar, got real drunk, and then we just watched that onslaught happen. And it's the second time I've seen those Oregon Ducks really give it to the Buffaloes. And the first time it was my friend was playing for the team, and they went to the 2002 Fiesta Bowl. And they had won the Big 12, upset Nebraska, beat Texas in the Big 12 championship. And they were in the second tier bowl game against the Oregon Ducks and their quarterback Joey Harrington. So we drove out to
nice.
Phoenix. We drove out to Phoenix, went to the game. We were all hyped. We thought we were going to win, had a shot at maybe co-champions if Nebraska won the Natty. And we got fucking smoked. It was Oregon scored every time they touched the ball. We completely abandoned our run game, and that just it looked like the same shit as prime. I mean, at the end of the day, you just can't play Madden at some levels. You know, some teams will have the talent to match up with you.
Yep. I mean, Dave, I'm gonna go first, but here's what I think. First of all, it's his 3rd game coaching. He doesn't have all of his own. I mean, he came in. There's some players there. He brought his own play. Right. And so it's kind of like, it's like anybody. We're not going to make excuses, and it's awesome. And they played 2 whatever teams at the beginning of the year, just like everyone else. Now we're getting into some tough play, ranked teams. And I feel like it maybe helps them know where they're at, like for real now. And they can kind of maybe, get to work. James, your thoughts?
First of all, I can't say I didn't see this coming. Secondly, there's a silver lining here, and this is what you guys all need to probably take away from here. This is the worst they're gonna be. All right, they've got guys lined up 5-6 years from now saying, I'm coming there. Will Prime be there in 5-6 years? Probably not. But in the time that he is there, will he establish it as a powerhouse where people want to go, like in Alabama? I mean, This is the worst they're going to be, you guys. And that's kind of scary if you look at it that way. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I thought it was a great story at first. You know, we had our little differences. I still don't like it's like you've got Ryan Day yelling at Lou Holtz, another guy yelling at Coors. Like the NCAA football is turning into WWE, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's absolutely insane, dude. Like that alone, just knowing that like they're having they're busting the same kind of promos as the WWE, sometimes even better. That speech that Oregon coach gave before the game, holy shit. By the way, I just want to point out they're playing for clicks, but go ahead and bring the camera in here while I say that. Fucking hypocrite, dude. I can't wait to see Oregon get spanked by Washington. But anyway, that's beside the point. WWE, but with real life people hitting each other. Like they mean it. It's not fake. Right. Crazy. I can't wait to see where it goes. Why are we talking about it on this show? Because these kids are going to be at this level.
Yep.
That's why we're talking about it now. But yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy. Next, we're going to move on in the news. Probably a lot of you saw down in Kansas City, the Chiefs were playing a game. There was also there was somebody else down. Oh, how was she feeling? Was she feeling 22? Was she feeling 22?
Oh my God.
Taylor Swift. We all know. Yeah.
Plan that.
What's
Swift Kelsey?
My favorite comment that I've heard on it was from Bill Belichick. They said, what do you think of Travis Kelce? I know. Get right up on the microphone.
He mumbled.
Yeah, cool. Catches in his life, but this is probably the best catch he's ever made.
Bullshit. That's what he said.
That's what he said? Oh my God.
What?
Dude.
Okay.
Wow. I have to say,
I was surprised he even commented on it. He's such a fucking curmudgeon. Time for that.
Oh man. But just yeah, dude, like Taylor Swift is like heroin to old people. Like, yeah, she's just so wholesome and you know, like mildly like mid-level attractive. Anyways, yeah, I have to give some credit to my beautiful wife who sent me the story that Kelce and Taylor Swift had gone on a few dates a couple weeks ago and begged me to talk about it on the show. And I said no. And sure enough, our fearless leader, James Marves, decided to include it in the news spread this week. So you did it, baby. You made the show. Kel Swift.
You need to calm down, dude. You need to calm down.
Yeah, you know what? If I had a blank space, I'd put G-Man Jass's name there.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of getting Kelce Lash with the fucking documentary about a fucking center. Are you kidding me? Right. He's a fucking center, dude, and I have to watch a documentary on this guy. I'm just tired of the mom. I'm tired of the commercials. I'm tired of the dating history. Did you guys realize that his jersey sales went up 400% overnight?
Yes.
Because of this?
The Swifties, dude. The Swifties.
I have something to say about this.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So, Taylor Swift is kind of cringy. Her fans are equally cringy. But aside from boosting Chiefs fandom like crazy this last week, she also told the Swifties to get out there and register to vote in local elections, which in a world bigger than football, I'm pretty happy she did, because I think voter registrations went up like 200,000 Gen Z people in like 24 hours.
Yep. Awesome.
So I'm like, you know what? Shake off the haters, Taylor.
I was going to say, Gobo's opinions do not reflect that of
yeah. I was like, I like it.
But you know, that's really good. That's a good thing that she can use her platform. I mean, just incredibly for stuff like
good.
That. What I don't approve of is I read an article that said that she had everybody leave a restaurant so that her and Travis could eat dinner by themselves. I don't know if that means she paid for everybody else's thing, how she tastefully would have done this.
I'm Taylor Swift. Can you please respectfully leave
the restaurant so that you can eat by yourself? Like that's That's a bit entitled for my tastes, but
I think we should invite Taylor on the show to defend herself.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about her is she can't eat she can't eat with him anywhere. Like, so
Yeah.
she has to do that to get
Well-
our privacy that we have every day. Anyway, let we yes, Gobo?
One more thing about Taylor Swift. I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but prior to the voter registration thing, I had a big problem with her because of her arrogance. There was like I think it was like 15 years ago, there was like a rock band sort of game coming out, and they decided to get 4 musicians from the soundtrack to do like a song together for the commercial, and Taylor Swift refused to show up for the shoot and said, you know, you can just Photoshop me in. I don't really want to hang out with the other musicians. The other musicians were Rivers Cuomo, Flea, and Travis Barker. And she thought she was too big to hang out with those 3 guys. And I'm like, okay, you're a bitch.
wow. She's like, I've never heard of those guys.
I know, right? Yeah, these guys definitely aren't iconic in rock music or anything.
Jesus.
Segueing into getting your heart broken, Aaron Rodgers this week spoke, basically talking to the Jets from afar, just trying to tell everybody. I did watch it. He said he doesn't want to say RELAX again, but basically RELAX, relax. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you were the one at the helm when you said that last time, Rodgers. You're not at the helm this time, so you can't control what our quarterback doesn't see and doesn't throw to. It's just depressing.
I also find it a little weird that he used the term grow up. The Jets need to grow up. That rubs me the wrong way from Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. It just does.
Well, he's old.
I mean,
And look at him.
Grow
He's just
up. He said grow up. I mean, the guy's 40, but he's still like doing ayahuasca and
Doing ayahuasca.
right? So I mean,
Dating race car drivers. Yeah, no, it's
His spirit is young. His spirit is young.
yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, the ayahuasca. I mean, how many times can we say ayahuasca? I remember last time we said this on the show, we were keeping track. So every time we say ayahuasca, everybody at home, drink.
I was like, yeah, take a hit of your ayahuasca pen. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
Let's line up our chakras. This is a weird episode.
yeah, this is a really weird
I
episode.
like it. I like
Yeah.
this tone, you guys. I really do.
Okay.
We're talking real shit here.
Yeah, we're
I was
talking real
like,
shit.
yeah.
So then,
Yeah,
So,
drugs, Taylor Swift, fuck football. Go ahead.
politics.
like, yeah, what show is this?
Mike
Yeah.
Williams blowing out his ACL.
NFL.
NFL for him. It's like once
The
again.
Chargers are done, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a rookie. I can't even remember his name, but he's got to step up. He's just not Mike Williams. If he was,
Johnston.
they would already not be shitty.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mike Williams is getting older. Is this the end?
I mean,
It's
their entire receiving core is old as shit.
yeah.
So, like, I mean, we all know that Justin Herbert is a talented individual, and he's going to get paid. And when he gets paid, it's going to be top of the line money like Mahomes, and it's going to be from them. But like, what are they going to do to balance that out? What the fuck?
Right.
Hope they draft a baddie. That's really the only plan they got. I'm not a Chargers fan, and I'm very happy.
All right, boys. Let's move into one thing that happened this week, and I think everybody in the NFL world is probably shocked about these 2 things that happened. One, the Miami Dolphins scored 70 points, or the Arizona Cardinals, which have basically been trash and said that they were the worst team in the league by pretty much everyone, just beat the Dallas Cowboys, who everyone has been claiming is one of the top teams right now. In a shocker. What's more shocking in NFL or in NFL? G-Men.
I would say 70 points is more shocking as a division rival with the Cowboys. I have seen them numerous times be the better team, look great, etc., only to fall to this exact team that was the Arizona Cardinals, coming off a crushing loss to the New York Giants the week before. They were not going to give up the lead this time. And, 70 points is more shocking because I've seen all of that. You guys can talk about how 70 is crazier because it's only the fourth time I think it's happened. But
Yep.
Cowboys do that shit all the time.
Dames?
I sat through a 58-0 drubbing of Arizona in Seattle once, and it seemed like they scored every possible way you could possibly score. And this was 3 touchdowns on top of that. You guys, when Diggs went down, I knew that Dallas was going to have trouble on the back end of some things in their defense. Wasn't going to be quite as tight as normal. But I also thought Arizona is just really bad. I've never seen 70 points scored in my life. You've got a defensive coach in Peyton, in Denver, and it never should happen. 70 points to me is by far more shocking.
Right. It's like I was saying earlier, and I've said many times, Sean Payton, as we've got to know him, I feel like he's kind of a douche. And like, it's like keep my coach's name out of your fucking mouth. I like how you can sit and talk shit, and then literally 3 games, you literally are the worst team in the league.
Right.
Russell Wilson looks worse this year. You just got beat. They scored 70 points on your team. Maybe you should clean your own kitchen before you're talking about somebody else's house.
Yeah. So on this, I think it's like watching that Dallas Arizona game. I think it was like Dallas's defense looked lazy, out of sorts. They called some bad plays. I mean, Dak didn't really play very well. I think the line, like the Dallas line, got pushed around a lot more than I thought they were going to. But yeah, all that shit. That good teams can have a bad game in an NFL season. I mean, it's 17 games. It's a long season. Shit like this happens all the time. It's still professional ball clubs. Yeah, so by far the 70-20 win by Miami is definitely much worse. And I think I said the same thing to my wife as we were driving home listening to the game, and it was just like, I think the Broncos are worse than they were last year, which is insanity because the Broncos were so fucking bad last year. It's just like, how did you make these changes and get worse? And I think that it kind of dawned on me. Yeah, Sean Payton was never the reason that New Orleans was so successful. It was Drew Brees. It was a competent receiver core. It was a couple of really good defensive playmakers. Aside from that, he didn't really have to coach that team that hard.
Head hunting. I mean,
that, and throw an asterisk on top of it.
Yeah. Throw an asterisk.
He allowed that shit to happen in his locker room. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know why the Broncos thought Sean Payton was going to be the answer.
Right.
There's one point I want to make to counter something Jail said.
Yes.
Look up the numbers for one Russell Wilson and one Patrick Mahomes. They're almost identical through 3 weeks. So that's all I'm going to say.
Boom. Okay. All right. Good to know. We'll check that out. You guys at home, also check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Share some news with us if we forgot anything. Again, thanks for being here. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. This is a new segment we started this year, week 3. G-Man Jas, we're going to start things off with you in Let's Tell the Truth. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go make a quick pizza. Dames, is you going to go grab some chips or anything?
I don't want to hear it. He's my favorite one. That's why I always wanted to go last.
Oh, too bad.
Switching it up. Guys, my truth was, I got to watch everyone's game on Sunday since I was the Thursday night game. And as I was watching Miami score, like they were playing Tecmo Bowl, it almost made me cry a little because I believe they maybe had scored more points. 3 Lance did the entire season.
You are in slow
having a stroke?
motion frozen. Are you?
Please,
We know you're on drugs, but I think your computer is as well.
Like
drugs.
Web.
That's so
Someone else
weird.
go.
Why did it happen right when he was like?
Okay, Gobo, let's move on to you, Truth. Let's let G-Man
Oh.
Jack figure out what he's got
Let's go
going
with
on.
turn. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you. Oh my god. Wasn't expecting it to be my turn so quickly. All right.
Watch it's gonna go.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So my truth is that so the Packers won the game. Jordan Love wins his home opener. Comeback victory against the Saints. Played an ugly first half. Figured it out in the end. Defense stood strong. It's an ugly win, but it's a win nonetheless. Do I feel optimistic about this team? Sort of. Here's what's dangerous about that. It being 2-1, winning against, I think the Saints were a pretty good team. I think the Falcons are a good team. We played them tough. We beat the shit out of the Bears. The Packers are much better than I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. But here's what I'm afraid of. This Thursday against the Lions in Detroit might as well be the Super Bowl for the Packers. Like, if we lose this game, our momentum's going to go to shit. Detroit's going to take over sole ownership of the lead in the division. We're going to be playing from behind. And then it's like, at that point, I mean, do you even hope to win? So I'm worried that, like, my love for the Packers and my enthusiasm for the Packers is going to be stymied on a week 4 loss to a division rival. So that's what I'm worried about. But, the sweet thing about the NFL, Packers could win that game. So we don't know, Detroit lost a tough one to Seattle, I think Detroit's a much better team. So shit happens. I mean, this last week shows you that anybody can win on any Sunday.
True. As your truth, so is the truth. Dames Marvs, what is your truth this week?
My truth is, I don't fucking like him saying that Detroit's a much better team than us. I just don't believe that.
You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it.
You're riding the hype train. We've gone into their building 2 years in a row and struck them down. But that's beside the point. Here, draft day, you guys. I'm so fucking excited to get Jackson Smith and Jigba. Where the fuck is he? Where is he? 20th pick of the goddamn draft, and Jake Bobo is getting a touchdown as an undrafted free agent.
Jake Bobo.
I love Jake Bobo. Don't get me wrong. He's probably going to have more touchdowns than half the guys on the team. But that's not my point. My point is this guy's electric in college. He's open all the time. Is it him? Or is it Geno Smith not having a vibe with him? He's definitely got a vibe with Lockett. He's definitely got a vibe with DK. But if you really want to bring this to a superior offense, you got to use Will Dissly more. He's amazing coming back from injury. You got to use Jackson Smith and Jigba. And if you have Jake Bobo as your 4th wide receiver, dude, Geno, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're still Geno. I have to remember that. But I want you to be elite. I want you to prove everybody wrong that says you're a piece of shit. Like backup. With 21 interceptions in one season. You're better than that. No, I'm just the truth is, I thought, we are number 5 in offensive production through week 3. So that's good. But I also think about we've scored every time we've been in the red zone, 100% scoring. But fucking 5 field goals this week, dude. 5 field goals. If you turn those into touchdowns with these receivers that are shifty, like, we should be scoring 40 points a game.
50.
So that's my truth, guys. My truth is I was all jacked up about this receiver that has yet to show his face. It's hard for me to say that because I legit was like, have made a big deal about it since before the draft even.
Right. And it probably might have a little, I don't know, but what's his name was just on Monday Night Football dominating, and Jalen Carter. All right.
Oh, dude. that's the number. I have no problem with our 5th pick.
Right.
None whatsoever. That guy's a stud. He's going to be a stud. I talked about him last week on this segment. But, I don't want to talk about him every week. But Jalen Carter is a stud. I mean, what did he have? A sack, a forced fumble, a forced interception. You can't do much more than that on a big stage like that. So
right. All right, Jimmy and Jess, do we have you back now? Or are you here? Or check 1 2 1 2. Checking the microphone. What is your truth?
I think the computer wanted me to go last, like the other couple weeks, so that's why that happened.
Well, so I should go then, and you'll go last. Okay. I will easily go with my truth, and I said I was going to kind of stick with this. I'm going to add a little bit to it. Obviously, it's Zach Wilson, and him becoming a better quarterback than he is now. Here's the things I like. Obviously, he has some good plays. You see sparks of like, holy shit, he could be really, really good. I love how Coach Saleh, all the players are just, saying the right things like Zach's our guy. We believe in each other. We don't want to put people down. All of these things. And that's awesome. And I love great coaching and lifting each other up. But at some point, I don't know when, at 1-6, 1-7, 1-2, when does the players, how many times can you say Zach Wilson, he's the man. He's good. He's making progress. He's good. He's making progress. Championship defense going to waste. It's like at some point we either have to pull the trigger, buy a new quarterback quick, trades for somebody just for a filler of this year. I don't know who would really want to do that. Kirk Cousins come to New York, win a Super Bowl, and then he's a free agent. He can go wherever he wants, I guess. I don't know. So my truth is I'm just still I'm kind of like I just want Zach Wilson to be good. I'm just like, just do that the whole time. Just do that the whole time. Like when he runs around, comes in, scoots through, shoot, throws a laser pass. You're like, okay. And then the next play, he's like, looks like he's never played football. So Midwest Jets, truth. Zach, come on, man. Come on. I just need you. You need to do a little something better. Got the Chiefs this week. All right. G-Man Jazz. Last but not least, first is now last. Last is now first. You know the whole thing. Let's hear your truth.
All right, guys. My truth this week is 7-1-1. 7-1-1 is what the Giants were following a loss last season. So I'm going to fall back onto last season, fall ahead to Monday night at home against the Seattle Seahawks, Dame's very own. It's going to be a great game. And from this game against the 49ers, obviously there are some small truths that have me a little worried, but most of them are injuries, which health is always a concern. But coming back Monday night, Andrew Thomas should be back at left tackle, which is probably equally as big as Saquon Barkley being out. So truth is, we need our studs back because we are not deep enough to compete with the best teams in the league when our guys are out. So, got to get to 2-2 because schedule gets even worse. So, one at a time at home, no panic yet. 1-2, week 3. Not what we wanted. We were in a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, so the final score was a pretty good ass whooping, but we hung in there for a little bit. On to week 4.
All right. That concludes our Let's Tell the Truth. Don't forget, at the end of every episode, our boy Ricky makes his picks of the week. He tells you what to bet on if you want to. And if you do choose to, bet responsibly. So again, Ricky's picks are at the end of the show. Let's Tell the Truth. We'll be moving on into this week's recap in about 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, we start off. G-Man Jazz gets to start this one off as well. We're Thursday night football. So excited to see if the Giants can do anything. And I'm like you going into the game. I saw Saquon's out, your left tackle's out. I kind of thought, this is going to be a tough one to muster out, especially, on the road. And I know you guys stayed in Arizona and went up there.
Yeah. So basically, guys, this was the play good defense on first and second down and get them into third and longs, which happened numerous times, and let the screen pass get 15 yards to one side, let the screen pass to Debo, let the screen pass to McCaffrey, let the dink and dunk. And every little pass seemed to gain 10 yards plus. So it was a strange game because it kept pushing them back, and then they would go forward and back and forward and back and forward. And, like I said earlier, going into the fourth quarter, it was a one possession game, and you just felt like it was worse than that at that time. And then, the final scoreboard reflected that. San Francisco's got a ton of playmakers, and we were without our best offensive playmaker and our best offensive lineman. So we were overmatched, and was glad to be on to a new week. I'm glad it was Thursday. It's so far out of my mind by now that all I can do is think about the Seattle game Monday night. So 49ers, great team. We're gonna see, Purdy get all this recognition, and a lot of it really isn't Purdy. I mean, he's a little point guard just dumping it off to all his studs. So it'll be tough.
Shots fired.
Right, and I was going to say, the rest of us here on NFL, besides you, obviously, you're going to pick the Giants. We all did take the Niners pretty big, and I feel like 23-16, 31-18, 35-13. So we kind of all were like in the realm of, yeah, we all wanted the Giants to win. I think we even mentioned that, like, come on. But again, too many weapons. I'm with you on that. I'm going to make mine short and sweet. It's like, yeah, McCaffrey. I mean, everyone they have. It's like insanity. So it's kind of like pick your poison. Shut one of them down. Two other ones are going to dominate. They're a tough team. Dames in your division. How you feeling about that?
I like the San Francisco team, you guys. It hurts me to say it, but I got to call a spade a spade. They've got everything going for them. They don't need to have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I still can't wait to see what Purdy looks like when he has to be an actual functioning NFL quarterback. He looks good. He looks good behind what they have, which is, quite frankly, a better man on their side of the ball than is lined up across from them 90% of the time. They got after Daniel Jones a couple times. I credit that no touchdowns, one pick to not having your left tackle and your weapon running game. It's going to make it difficult. So I do hope that you get those guys back for this matchup, because I don't want there to be any kind of asterisk. There never should be an asterisk by a win, but I always want to play a good team, and I want to play them at full tilt, because that's just the best way to watch football.
Good way to judge your team, too.
Be like, oh, we snuck by because their left tackle was out and we could exploit them all game long. It's not fun, dude. It's not fun, and it doesn't give you proper bragging rights. That said, I'm not really surprised by the outcome of this game, just because I do think this Niners team is la friggin' jit, unfortunately.
Yep. Gobo?
I mean, I don't have a lot more to add to this. I agree with Dame's point fully. The 49ers, I think they are a tough matchup for most teams in the league right now. So I think that most weeks they're going to be the favorites. They're probably going to be the favorite in Vegas. So many dynamic playmakers, like you said, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. It's like everywhere you look, there's a superstar on offense. And then their defense, it ain't bad either. They got a couple of really good playmakers on defense. So, yeah, the Giants, I think, showed more guts than some other teams that have gone up against tougher opponents. So I credit them there, but we all pretty much had this one bugged.
Yeah. Guys, I want to add a couple things. One, the time of possession, and like I said, we hung into the fourth, but time of possession, which we all know is a huge thing, 40-20. So over the course of the game, that obviously wears on the defense. And if you watch the game, we got after Purdy a lot early on, and he did make a lot of pretty bad looking throws. They got a lot of tips, a lot of things that, if say there is a team that can bring that pressure all game, I think we will get to see if Purdy has it at some point this season, but it just wasn't Thursday night.
To piggyback on that comment, I did get a text from my brother that said, I hope when we play them as competently as the Giants are playing them right now. That was before the fourth quarter, obviously, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
I
good
mean, it
point.
was
It's a good point because I was watching that going, you know what? They're not making them look great. So,
right.
yeah.
Right, exactly. No team's unbeatable. And moving on to our next game, we all missed this game. The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, the new Indianapolis of the old Baltimore, of the new whatever, Indianapolis at Baltimore. I actually just saw the end of this game and I saw it was kind of going back and forth, and then Lamar Jackson, or I mean, excuse me, Minshew, they went for it, didn't get it like on the four, whatever. I was like, oh, they're gonna kick a field goal with Tucker, blah blah. Next thing I know, the game's over and the Colts won. So I was like, holy shit! And their kicker, Gay, kicked four or five field goals, like an NFL over 50 yards, which is an NFL record. So booyah, Gay! I mean, wow. And the Colts win. What a shocker! I'm a little shocked by this. I like Minshew. I think he's kind of a cool little guy in there. I always feel like, and they won. Are the Ravens? I feel like the Ravens may be about one of those teams that we really don't know who they are yet, because it's that whole Lamar, like, can he do this? Can he? I don't know. I still don't even know. Gobo, what do you think?
I agree. I wouldn't really bet on the Ravens right now. I think they looked pretty ironclad the first 2 weeks, playing pretty competent football. Had kind of a hard time with a Houston team that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes that seemed to be a lesser caliber, but then they go out against this Colts team. The Colts, I mean, they got a backup quarterback. They got basically no run game. Like their offense is pretty dysfunctional. They got a couple of defensive playmakers, but like, yeah, I don't see how you can lose this game if you're the Ravens. And like, I mean, yeah, I mean, shit happens. Like it's the NFL, anything can happen. But like, yeah, I'm flabbergasted by this one. This one shouldn't have been close. The Ravens had really no right to let them keep staying it like they did.
Right, games.
The Ravens are going to be fine, you guys. This defense is freaking ridiculous. I'm a little bit bummed that the Colts keep winning because that means DeForest Buckner's staying where he is. Not coming. They're not going to be in sell mode. They're not going to be in sell mode. And I'm going to tell you what, Jails, if I were you, when Richardson comes back, I'd be on the fucking phone because Gardner Minshew is one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Period.
Right. I'm down with that. G-Man, thoughts?
Yeah, not a lot to add. It was on the road as well for Indianapolis, so I don't know if anyone mentioned that. And Zach Moss is actually playing his showing why Jonathan Taylor and the other side of the running back story that we go back and forth on, but is Jonathan Taylor worth it if Zach Moss is doing this and they're beating the Ravens on the road?
Good question. Good question. Make sure below you're telling us your answers, your picks. Again, we love hearing from you guys here at NFHell. 2 games in a row we all missed. I think this might be a first here on the show, but again, why would anything surprise us here in NFL? Tennessee got spanked by Dick Touch guy's team, Browns. So I mean, you guys all know why I didn't pick the Browns. And I actually thought Tennessee's defense would play well. No, Chubb went out. It was like they actually 27-3, guys. Their D played well. They showed up. Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that we all kind of minimized how good Cleveland's defense is. I think, honestly, it depends on which Browns team shows up, and this is one of those storied franchises where they are the biggest fans of getting in their own way. And I feel like the Browns have already, sort of done that this season against Pittsburgh. I don't think they're really a playoff caliber team, but like, yeah, the defense is pretty solid. And Tannehill, I mean, I know you guys have been really down on Tannehill, and it's like you kind of had a good reason to this week. So yeah, Tennessee got exposed. We'll see if they can recover, but yeah, just Dick Touch guy was the better quarterback on Sunday.
G-Man?
Trust your instincts, guys. This was one of the games I switched for some reason. And obviously now I'm wondering what that reason was. Don't like Tannehill, yet I picked Tennessee. And if you remember, if y'all remember, we talked about how Myles Garrett has taken it up a level. He had 3.5 sacks in this one game, just a game wrecker. Get rid of Tannehill.
Yeah.
Will not pick them again.
James Mars.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys why we all picked against the Browns. And it's not because, well, this game's a tale of two quarterbacks. All right. We looked at it objectively. We said we don't like the Browns coach. We know Vrabel can coach. But here's the thing. It's a story of two quarterbacks. Since Watson has become a Brown, the media, everybody in the world has said, when is he going to return to Deshaun Watson of old? Can he? Will he? Is he capable of it? All right. Tannehill was Tannehill. Nothing. But then you got Deshaun Watson, who was 27 of 33 for almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's elite level play. Unfortunately, the guy's a piece of shit, but he's proven that he can return to that form against a pretty decent defense. I'm anxious to see if it will continue through this week, but Vrabel's got to make some changes at quarterback. Otherwise, they're sunk.
Yeah.
Tannehill, and he is what we think he is.
Go with one of the young guys. I mean, why not? What's a 27-3? I mean, what's worse that you didn't get a field goal?
You should have made the change at halftime.
Yeah. Yep. All right, moving to Detroit, Gobo's division. The Lions go down to are at home against Atlanta and took care of business. 20-6. Once again, these are the two of those teams. I think like Atlanta, you're kind of like, we were thinking, oh, who are they? Then they win. You're like, oh wow, they seem okay. They're pretty cool. And then Detroit wins and loses. It's like it's a tale of two roller coasters going the opposite way. G-Man Jazz, will let you start out on this one. What do you got?
It's kind of like Cleveland against Tennessee. Detroit's defense pretty much dominated this game, and it wasn't Myles Garrett. It was Aiden Hutchinson with, what did he have? 2 sacks, forced fumble recovery. He's all over the place. So they have a playmaker on defense, and Atlanta's definitely not a come from behind team. So if they get behind, it's pretty much good night. They want to control the game, and they weren't able to do that in Detroit. So pretty easy game for Detroit with a dominant defensive performance.
Gobo?
Yeah, I mean, basically that's right on the nose. I mean, Atlanta, they kind of, when they developed their game plan against Green Bay, it was like a lot of run and gun, RPOs, expecting Desmond Ridder to be really mobile, which he was able to do a couple of times against Green Bay. But yeah, you get up against a real quick guy like Hutchinson, and yeah, you're going nowhere. And if Atlanta's not an offensive team, they're certainly not going to win in a defensive struggle. So, yeah, I thought Atlanta was going to come out, put some fireworks up. Detroit was going to kind of get down on themselves. Total opposite. So, yeah, I called this one wrong. But like I said, Detroit, they're still pretty good after taking a tough loss last week.
James?
I'm not going to go as far as to say Atlanta's not an offensive team. It's just they're not a passing team. And the reason that's also the reason they're not a come from behind team. When you're predicated on the run game and your star stud running back gives you 10 carries for 35 yards and you're dependent on what's his face, Ritter, to pass you back into the game, there's not a lot there. It's like I said, it's a solid plan when it works. But if you get behind on a team like this, you're not going to come back, especially with that defense, that defensive line breathing down your throat. If you're not a passing attack, and they've already stopped your run game,
Good luck. Speaking of things going good, we're going to move right into the Packers game. Gobo, we'll start with you. The Saints come into Lambeau. Jordan Love's first start. Wow, what a wild one!
It was crazy, guys. Honestly, and the Packers, there's a couple of teams that we just have bad luck with. Like, they're just kind of like cursed teams. It's like teams that even when we're good and they're bad, we can't seem to get a win. I'm not saying the Saints are a bad team. I think that they're really good this year, but like the Saints are one of those where I just like I have a little helmet shelf for all the teams the Packers beat, and my little Saints helmet doesn't go up there very often. But yeah, this week game started out really ugly. The Saints, they had that special teams touchdown, that punt return. We went for it on fourth down after making a good stop on the first drive. Didn't get it. Jordan Love's making a couple of bonehead plays. I think he's really talented. I think he still needs a lot of polish to be like, I don't want to say like elite, but I mean, he's almost like the numbers that he's putting up. I think that he's capable of it, but he missed a lot of passes on Sunday. Great come from behind win, gritty performance, going for it on two. Matt LaFleur wasn't fucking around. And then, we get in the same situation where they kick for a field goal at the end. And this time they miss. So I was like, okay. I was like watching this game. I'm like, please, God, don't let it end the same way as the Atlanta game. So, but yeah, the big win for the Pack. I was very happy.
James.
Absolute guts by a first time. It's not his first start at Lambeau. It was his first start since he's taken over, right?
First start at Lambeau.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
he's played at Lambeau, but it was for Aaron Rodgers when he broke his collarbone against the Bears.
All right. So that's what you want to see, kind of. The thing that concerns me is he's 50% on his passing, 22 of 44 this week. One pick, one touch. Those are rookie-like numbers, and I think that's probably because he technically still is. But that's also good news. He's got rookie play, but he's got veteran knowledge from being there behind Aaron Rodgers. So it only gets better from here, dude. It was great to see. I was not really digging the swagger of the New Orleans being 2-0. It's really putting me in a weird place. I'm glad to see them get knocked down. I wasn't happy to see Carr go down, though I don't think he'll be out for long. I do wonder if that would have made a difference in the game. But
G-Man, you got anything you want to add to this game?
I do. I felt, Dames, that was the turning point of the game was Carr getting hurt. Jails and his wife were over, and she's a Packers fan. And as soon as that happened, I looked at her and I looked at the score, and I'm like, Green Bay's going to win 21-17. And they ended up winning 18-17. And it was like, Jameis is in, Carr's out. This was over. It's like, they're not going to score anymore. And you guys, kind of finally put it all together. So it was kind of cool to watch. And, I think Carr might be out a week or two, but they need him back.
Yep. All right. And I have one thing to add to the Packers winning, and I feel like I'm just going to do this every time the Packers win from now on. Love wins. Moving on. Jacksonville, Houston might have been the biggest surprise of the week. VT, get your butt on here. Tell us what's going down with these guys. Stroud looking like the real deal, or is Jacksonville one of those teams where they come in hyped in the season, everyone's thinking they're making these huge leaps and bounds, and then they take a step back? Dames, we'll let you start with the BD here. Your boy, T-Law.
Well, this is surprising, you guys. It's definitely looking like a regression year for Jacksonville. They got a big game coming up this week. I'm not going to get too down on them for losing to Kansas City at home. That's something that could happen to anybody and probably will happen to most people. But especially when they're at full strength, getting Kelsey and Jones back that week. But I've been saying it basically since the first week. CJ Stroud, dude, he's looking like the real deal. Astronomical numbers, top 5 quarterback numbers in the NFL. I think he's already broken the record for most pass attempts to start a career without throwing a pick. I hope I just jinxed him because I'd like him to be knocked down a level. But yeah, it's a good story. But imagine now if they would have taken Jalen Carter instead of Will Anderson.
G-Man, your thoughts on the Jaguars?
I don't know, guys. Yeah, I think I bought into the hype. Thought the Jaguars were going to be a lot better than this. I know it's still early, so they got some time to rebound, but um, they have a veteran coach who's taken a team and won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. So I think he understands the highs and lows of the season. They I think they come back and look a lot better next week. But Houston, D'Amico Ryan's got them playing halfway good. So see what they keep doing.
Yep, Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just say it. Jacksonville's defense looked like shit. They looked really bad. Stroud was just torching them left and right, and yeah, you know what? I made the prognostication that Jacksonville was gonna win the AFC in the regular season, get the bye, get the top record. Yeah, I really, I mean, it still could happen. It's early, but like, yeah, honestly, they're gonna need to fight because yeah, there's some other teams like the Colts in the AFC South. They could knock them out if Jacksonville doesn't get their shit together and start winning some games. So yeah, on paper, like I said, Jacksonville's a much better team. They're at home. They really should have no problem, and they got blown out. So it was just an ugly game.
Right, and I'm kind of excited for both ways to look at it. Is Houston actually maybe Ryans is a really good coach, and they're kind of finally maybe getting a system using Stroud. They're maybe on the rise a little, and then maybe Jacksonville. Like we have all these high expectations. Maybe this was the wake up call they needed. They got their ass kicked. They thought it was going to be a gimme. Maybe didn't prepare as much. So now they got to need to meet. Maybe that is the kick in the ass they need. Speaking of getting kicked in the ass. And if you're following along, again, we're on NFL.com, right down the schedule. You can type along, pick your games as we go. The Dolphins, guys. Holy shit. Here's the deal. I've been talking smack about Tua this whole time on NFL. And I'm going to eat my words because this guy is just, he fits the system. Okay, sure. But he also is he makes accurate reads. If you watch him right-handed, he looks like a better version of Lamar Jackson. He's bigger, faster, throws a better ball. He also has this other guy named Tyreek Hill, which I don't think hurts anyone, which also makes your running backs better, your O-line better. I just feel like if this team stays healthy, this is kind of like last year with Dames, like, oh my God, there's no way they at least have to like contend to go to the Super Bowl, AFC title. I mean, when are they going to find a defense that can even hold them to like 24 points, 20? I mean, dang, it's like, holy cow. Also, Sean Payton, suck it. That's kind of really all I want to say to them. Any fans of him, Bronco fans out there, I'm sorry, but nope, I'm not sorry. He sucks. Dames.
Even Broncos fans are not necessarily fans of Sean Payton at this point.
Already.
But I mean, they were tired of this before the season started. They're like, what? This is just chaos. The building is chaos. And right now, I'm going to tell you, I think that Sean Payton is a bigger problem than Russell Wilson. And that's where you have your two most amounts of money invested. Somebody need to be losing their job in the office. Can't even believe it. Yeah, Tua. I've been riding Tua's nuts since day one. 23 of 26, dude.
Yeah.
23 of 26, over 300, 4 tutties. The guy would pitch the perfect game. I mean, it's 158.3. I think it was like 155.
Yeah.
That's just because he had 3 incompletions. Otherworldly performance in Denver.
No,
it was not in Denver.
It was in Miami.
Okay, well, either way,
yeah, it was hot. Indian summer. I hate the heat.
2 games were in Denver. They would never have 3 home games to open the season. But yeah, they got sponked, and it was fun to watch. I mean, it was fun to watch that.
Yeah, I just remember watching the game and just being like, oh, wow, they have 35 already? Oh, 42? Oh, my God, 48. What, 50s? Wait, 60? And also, it just kept going. You felt like you're like, is this a glitch? Like, what is going on? And you watch the highlights. Yes. It was Techno. G-Man Jazz called it earlier. It was like, go deep. or the run, just zag through there, gone like every time. G-Man, what do you think about this explosive offense?
10 touchdowns. One running back had 4 touchdowns. Another running back had 4 touchdowns. Tua had 4 touchdowns. Tua's touchdowns were just little like these guys can score touchdowns just flipping the ball around like this, and other teams are struggling to fucking move the ball. It's
Jets.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous how you can't copy some of these concepts, and it's amazing what they're doing, and somebody watch some film and steal some of this stuff because I want to score half of that and I'd be ecstatic. So crazy game. Denver looked like their defense was a fucking plan to not get hurt. They didn't give 2 shits. They were. I mean, any of us could have ran through some of those lanes or, a little baby spin move. Little baby spin move and they're jumping away. Like it was just weird, man. Like their defense just gave up.
Starts at the coach.
Denver's in hell, man. Denver's in hell.
You say it, Jails. $111 million. Is he really like?
Yep. He is. Whatever. He can be.
Going to sleep at night and be like, well, that sucked.
Yeah, he's going home to his hot wife with his millions of dollars with his pool and fucking golf course in his backyard. Yeah.
11 bathrooms.
Yeah. Gobo, you got any extra?
I do.
Let's hear what you got, bro.
So I don't know why Denver let Vance Joseph back on the plane to come home. Like, good God, their defense is bad. Like, I mean, they're like, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if us, like, collectively, because, we're old and have shitty knees, but, like, a high school team could maybe score on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like a really good one. But yeah, like, honestly, I think this game says so much more about Denver than it does Miami. The Dolphins are a good team. They had a great offense, lots of weapons. Tua, I think, if he stays healthy, is definitely top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, it's a tough game, but Denver's they've been playing so badly. Like, I mean, they lose their home opener to the Raiders. They lose kind of a hard fought game against the Commanders also at home, and it was only close because of a last minute Hail Mary. Like, honestly, I live amongst the Denver fans, and it's just like everyone's losing hope because there's not an answer. Like, it's certainly not fucking Sean Payton, but like, yeah, it's just like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. The Broncos are going to be bad for a while.
Right, yeah. So what's the over-under? So comment below, tell us right now. Over-under of when Russell Wilson gets benched, when Sean Payton gets fired. Something has to give if this shit keeps going down, in my humble, correct opinion. Dames.
I just have a suggestion for the state of Colorado. Prime versus Peyton. Everyone wins.
Let's do it. Broncos versus CU. I'll watch that. I mean, well, of course, the nation will watch that game.
Dion will line up at corner and be able to
with his 8 toes. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's how bad they are. All right. Moving on to the dumbest name in sports, and for some dumb reason, I took them to upset the Buffalo Bills. I was buying into. I don't know if it was the Bieniemy, the thing with the blah blah blah. Did I skip a game?
Couple.
Oh, I did, didn't I? My bad. We'll come back to that game. My bad. We're at the Minnesota game. Sorry. And here we are. Back to Minnesota, LA Chargers. I did watch this game actually, and the end of the game is like in typical Vikings fashion. And they had a chance to win it, then they didn't do it. You don't think they're going to do it. Then they get the ball back, and then they go down to like the fucking 4-yard line. You think, oh, they're going to do it. Boing, 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 ball going down. Intercepted, game over. They lose. It's like, this is why I think, could Kirk Cousins be a Jet? Could Kirk Cousins be a Jet? He's not going to win it this year in Minnesota. He only has to come to the Jets for this year, and then we just say, scoot on out. Dames, you're shaking your head no?
I've been saying it since Aaron Rodgers went down. What are you going to do? They appear to be out of it, and if they lose again this week, It's a real thing. Coming up on the bye weeks, it's a real thing. So I don't know, man. I still would be on the phone with Indianapolis, but Kirk Cousins is a real possibility, provided they want to deal him after going over.
Right, and then you're like, why? How much are we paying him? Who's paying his salary?
Right.
Gobo, this game, the Vikes game, Chargers.
You know what? I honestly want to keep picking the Vikings with my picks because every time I do, they fucking lose. So, you know, I think this game, these are like on paper, these teams are very closely matched. Explosive offenses, marginal defenses, quarterbacks who make lots of mistakes, but are also very talented. Like this game was a coin flip to me. I picked Minnesota because they were at home, and I got it wrong. I still think both teams are not going to the playoffs.
Steven?
Guys, I think the play you may have been talking about, Jails, was the Vikings had a chance to intercept this long pass, and they had the lead, and it was, I believe, really late in the fourth quarter. And that's how the Chargers scored. The interception all bobbled up, and then like the guy just hits it to himself, scores a touchdown for the Chargers, and then unless they threw another interception after that.
They did. No, and then the Vikings got the ball back again, dude, and they had a chance to win it. I'm like, you can't make it up, and it's in Skull.
And it's sad because, I mean, they're possibly going to have the first 2,000-yard receiver ever, and they won't even make the playoffs.
They might even win another game. Yeah, win another game. Speaking of maybe not winning another game, we're going to move on to the Jets game. The Patriots came into New York. I thought this was finally the year the Jets get over this hump, beating the Patriots. Was I wrong once again? Yes, I was. Am I in NFHell continuously? The Patriots didn't even play that well. The Jets defense played lights out. You allowed 13 and you lose. I got no words. Again, it's my faith in Zach Wilson. I want to like the guy. I want him to be good. I see flashes. I believe the coaches. I believe the players, and I'm just waiting. Okay, when's he going to break out? This week against the Chiefs now, all of a sudden he's going to break out? I mean, I fucking hope so. But on the other hand, here I am. And to add fuel on the fire, I always said if I bet Jets games, I would always bet the opponent. That way I would win both ways. But of course I didn't. So I also lost a Hunsky and the Jets lost. So
bet responsibly, my brother.
I mean, Ricky, my bad. Dames.
You guys have a great defense. You got Quinnen Williams. You got a bunch of studs up front there. And you got a quarterback who's not that good. You got to get to him. If you want to beat the Patriots, you got to get to Mac Jones. You didn't. I'm not going to say he hit you up, but he was very efficient. He did what he needed to do, and you didn't get to him once. So that's why you lost.
Gobo?
Dame's love affair with Mac Jones continues. I still don't get it. I think, but I think that I've kind of come to a realization about the Jets this year is, I thought I kind of made the assumption in our week 1 episode that the Jets get better without Aaron Rodgers, that they reform their offense, they move it differently. Other guys are going to step up. They were going to be in the same boat as the 49ers, where you don't need an elite quarterback to still be an elite team. And I was wrong. Wilson he fucking sucks, man. Like, I think there's not really another way to say it. Like, I don't think the Jets are going to win with him. And it's tragic because of how dominant that defense looks.
I have a question for you, though, because you said this. I kind of view them as the Niners of the East without the Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think that them filling a void at week 5, 6 makes a difference for them moving forward?
I think that if I'm the general manager of the Jets, yes, I think that you look at Wilson and you see him as the problem, because the problem is clearly not on the defense. It's clearly not your running back. It's clearly not your receiving core. Like, there's only, Rodgers. It's never a good thing when your starter gets hurt, but I thought Rodgers was probably the biggest liability on your offense. And I thought that taking him out would make a difference, but I totally overvaluated underevaluated how bad Zach Wilson really is.
Beeman?
Just want to add how 15 points by a Mac Jones led offense, 15 total points, 200 yards passing, barely over 50%, which I know you like to bring up stats sometimes. Those suck. But a win is a win, and that's all they had to do.
Whoa, hold on. They suck? I mean, turnovers, interceptions, that sucks. If you're over 50%, you get a tutty and the win, and you don't get sacked, especially by that defense, I don't think that sucks.
Saying 15 points, it's not. That is, I mean, he's not good. They were in field position how many times because the Jets' offense is so bad. It's not like he did anything. Like, literally one pass to a tight end that was broken coverage was all he had.
Lose the game.
That's
Point
true.
is, I did say, I give him credit. He won the game. That's fine, but they're not going anywhere either.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if Mac Jones was a Jet, would we be?
You guys keep coming at me with this because
fine. That's fine. You can laugh at us in January, but yeah.
I mean, if you're picking Mac Jones, Hill, did I argue?
I told you guys,
Mac Jones?
just because I think the player's not the problem doesn't mean I think he's a superstar. Well, you need to dispel with that right now.
I never said he was a superstar.
They won is bullshit. So I'm going to fight it all tooth and nail. It's bullshit. They fucking won.
I'll get you a Mac Jones t-shirt. That's fine.
I already have a
Mac and cheese
card. I don't need her. I don't.
NFL. Welcome. Now I got to get to my worst name in sports. I was just jumping the gun, trying to. I don't know why. Trying to skip my game, probably subconsciously. So Buffalo goes to Washington and destroys the dumbest team name in sports. Now I feel like if we go back to last week, I feel like we were all like, oh, Bieniemy, if they play good this game, maybe it's going to make him show that he's good. And this Sam Howell, is he good? And then Buffalo says, you know what? We're tired of people forgetting about us because we lost week 1 against the Jets in a crazy game as a punt return to the house. And they came out and just walloped the Commanders. G-Man, thoughts?
Thoughts are this. Dame's love affair with Washington's going to be over. And Howell is now going to be on the fucking... Is Brissett going to be coming in for Howell will be the next topic in 2 weeks if this continues, because that was horrific. Blowout 37-3. Probably felt like 70-20, but wasn't quite that bad. Buffalo's a really good team, and I'm glad to see a division team lose. So go Bills.
Names, rebuttal.
Well, my rebuttal is I have a metric, you guys. Like, if you throw over 40 passes in a game, it's okay if you have an interception. Like, I don't even put that on your tab if you throw it at least 40 passes. So to me, there's two tails here. Josh Allen's still trying to figure it out, you guys. I mean, they whopped him, but did you see that pick that he threw? Just stupid throw. And I think he only had 32 throws on the game, so I'm putting that one on him. On the other side of the ball, 29 attempts, 4 of them picked off. That's just Buffalo's defense saying we're fucking tired of people saying that we're past our window. The defense wanted it more than the offense, and they put up. And the offense should have done a lot more with what they. I mean, they scored a lot, but obviously, Josh Allen's still figuring it out. I can't say that he's not going to, but as one of the quarterbacks that we look to in the AFC as being elite, I expect better. So,
Gobo?
Yeah. The Bills are a pretty complete team. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the season. I think I thought it was going to be a lot more competitive with the Bills in New York in that division, but honestly, like yeah, Josh Allen, yeah, he can have a couple of bad throws and still put up a pretty good game. And he's got a great supporting cast. They got they got a good running game. They got Stephon Diggs. They got a great defense. Buffalo's, I mean, they're a contender. They were a contender the last 2 years. They're going to be a contender this year. And the Commanders, worst name in sports. However, the best format in Magic the Gathering. Aside from that, yeah, this team doesn't have much of an identity. Like Terry McLaurin and a bunch of guys that you probably wouldn't recognize if they walked in front of you. So, yeah,
Right. I mean, yeah.
another easy one.
I mean, here's the thing with me with that win is I'm like this. If Zach Wilson throws one interception and we win 37-3, I'm on cloud 9 every week. Are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
Buffalo doesn't give a shit if he throws 3. I mean, maybe he was trying to chuck one into a window because they're up so bad he can do what he wants. And like,
You're
hey,
right.
you know,
You're right.
you know what I mean?
I'm going to counter that. It's not going to matter when you're playing against Washington. When you're playing the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, you're going to fucking care.
Right. Yep.
Hey, don't also forget, he added like 46 yards rushing and a touchdown. So there's a dynamic like he brings that kind of compensates for if he has his average game passing. He also still added a touchdown rushing and another 46 yards.
Is it weird to you guys that he's that dynamic there? He does not look it at all.
No.
No,
I mean,
really,
yeah.
he's
So weird.
regressed, but like he's still great. Like yeah, he's still a very talented quarterback. So
I'm being hard on him, admittedly.
yeah,
He's
and I'm not saying you're not like wrong. I mean, he definitely doesn't look as good as he did last year, but I don't think it matters. I think yeah. Do they win the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs? Probably not, but like they're still good enough to get there.
Right. Yeah. And once again, any given Sunday,
that's again the story of the Bills' history.
Yep.
Good enough to get there.
Enough to get there.
Good enough to get there. All right, Davis. Speaking of good enough to get there, are the Seahawks good enough to get there? They are good enough to go or to stay home. Carolina comes up there with a backup quarterback, which I was
the Red Rifle.
I was like, yeah, it was Andy Dalton, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that made them better this week. We went down to Carolina last year, and he put it on us. And they rushed for like 250 yards on us, and they beat us handily. So for them to come in here, and for Seattle to have had that terrible of a rush defense last year, 30 out of 32, and they're now tied for third, giving up only 44 yards on the day. I was very happy with that. That said, the Red Rifle still was throwing all over the place, man. All over the place. I think we only got in the red zone 2 times. There was a busted coverage on a long touchdown, which led to his yards looking impressive. But I really wasn't worried this entire game. We were down by a point at halftime. I think we had 5 field goals to open the game. And then Geno Smith went off in the second half, and there we have it. Takeaways from that game. I did really want to see us play against the Bryce Young. I was really looking forward to that on the calendar. Sadly, but we'll have to wait for another day.
Right.
Just because I know what the Red Rifle did to us last year, and he's good. He's still good, dude. I wouldn't want him on the Jets because he's too slow. You need somebody that's mobile, somewhat mobile. Aaron Rodgers proved that. So, yeah, it was a good game. I'm happy that we won. Your first question: do we have enough to make it? I think we could beat anybody in any given day, but I don't see us as a powerhouse beating power team after power team after power team like the playoffs requires. I just don't see it. Not yet.
Right. Maybe when Jamal Adams comes back this week, your defense will take a step up. You never know. G-Men, thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I think we all expected and picked Seattle to win, I believe. And looking at Dalton's stats, it is pretty crazy. 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. You would think, wow, he had a really good game and they probably won, but stats are misleading sometimes. Seattle comes to New York next week, fresh off a win over the Panthers. So see how they roll in.
Gobo, you got any extra? Throw out
Not
this
really.
game?
I think it was an ugly game. It wasn't terribly fun to watch. I was nervous watching it because I was like, man, this Panthers team has got nothing going on, and they're taking a lead into halftime. Like, so I was pretty nervous for you there, Dames. But yeah, Gino came in, took care of business, got an ugly win. But yeah, you're gonna have to play better if you're gonna beat New York next week.
All right. Moving on to one of the craziest games we talked about at the beginning of the show again. Make sure you're playing along down below. You can scroll back and forth now that we have these timestamps, and you can find when we start talking about this week and next week's games. Dallas goes to Arizona. I feel maybe they went on vacation. Maybe they were like, you know what? Let's get down there a few days early, get a couple rounds of golf in. It's the Cardinals. I mean, they didn't show up. And I love my favorite part about this whole thing is Jerry Jones was literally cocking off to the media about how, this team's just the way they are because of McCarthy. He just has them ready to go every week. You just blah, 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 blah. And Diggs goes down, and now all of a sudden their defense is this bad. I mean, what happened to their offense, though? That's what I want to know. What happened to their offense? So on the other side of it, maybe Arizona is better than we thought. They had the collapse against the Giants, but minus the last minute of that game, they played winning football. And then this week they play against Dallas, who's the best. So I mean, maybe like the other teams, they need to get their stuff going with their coach and their system, things like that. Gobo.
So, you guys remember the old show Coach with Craig T. Nelson from the 90s? Yeah. So there was an episode, I never really watched sitcoms as a kid, but I saw this episode on a plane, and I thought it was really interesting. So his team, he coached like some made-up team in the NFL, but they were playing the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. And one of the assistant coaches took all the players out to get buffalo wings the night before the game. And of course, the Bills fans who served the wings to them gave all their players salmonella. And they got blown out. Several of their players couldn't play because they were sick. We're all thinking like, I mean, it's a show. It's meant to be funny, but that's honestly the only thing I could think of that fucking happened to the Cowboys on Sunday. Because like, good God, they looked terrible. They were getting beaten on every side of the ball, and especially their defense, which is elite. It's like, yeah, they're missing, they're missing their main guy, but like Micah Parsons is in, Van Esch is in. Like they have all these guys that are supposed to be run stoppers and pressuring the quarterback, and they get lit up by Arizona, who is bad. They're a bad team. I know that they played some good football the last 2 weeks, but like they don't have playmakers. I don't know. I just think I don't know. 100 times out of 99 times out of 100, the Cowboys win that game.
Right, and I'm like, good thing I'm not a betting man. Oh wait, yes.
Oh God,
James.
So the Cowboys come with some massive hype every year. But as far as I can recall, this year has been the most hype of any in the last decade for this team. And expectations being where they are, I just have to look at the roster and say, what the fuck are you talking about? All right, Dak Prescott's your quarterback. All right, you're not in a situation where you're the 49ers and you have everything else and all you need is a serviceable quarterback. You're not there yet. Your defense is probably maybe a little bit better than the 49ers, but without Diggs, maybe you're back down to that level. But your offense is not anywhere near what the 49ers have. We can all agree that the 49ers offense is ridiculous. I maybe never seen anything like it before. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is where people start questioning Mike McCarthy, and they should. They absolutely should. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that by the end of this season, Dan Quinn is the coach of that team.
Boom. Good. I mean, Cracker, I know you're watching at home. Comment below on your Cowboys. What do you think, buddy? What do you think? G-Man, you got anything to add to this? I mean, it's in your division. I'm sure you loved
Fuck the
this.
Cowboys.
Of course I do. Of course I do. I just chalk this one up to, like I said, kind of one of those have your number let down. Weed's legal in Arizona. Maybe they just hit up the dispensary and ate some edibles before the game and thought they could, pull that off. But this happens all the time. Happens to Dallas all the time. I don't think they're bad enough to make McCarthy get fired at any point during this season. Maybe after a usual playoff loss in the first round or something typical like that, then maybe they think about it. But I think Dallas will rebound, be fine. Just one of those games. Josh Dobbs, 17 for 21. Ball is barely touching the ground. No interceptions. If you saw his touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown, he's literally backpedaling the whole time. So Dallas's defense was still getting pressure. He just made an amazing play. And sometimes that happens. A guy kind of levels up and he's just on his game all day long, and that's what happens. So Dallas will rebound. Arizona, they're definitely not the worst team in football.
Yeah, Dobbs
Denver,
is playing for a job
that's
somewhere.
Yep.
Not the
And-
worst. No, you're right. They're bad, but they're Denver.
Speaking of the worst team, is it the next game we're going to talk about, Gobo?
It is.
The Bears going to Kansas City. Everyone is who we thought they were. Justin Fields, you suck. I'm not blaming it all on you, but you suck. Gobo.
Bear down. Yeah, fuck, man. The Bears, they suck. And it's gotten to the point that the Bears fans don't even debate me about that anymore. It's like everyone they thought. I keep saying it every week. Everyone thought, it's like Justin Fields just needs time to develop. It's his rookie year. He's just sophomore year, whatever. This is his third season as a starter. He still can't put shit together. And then, a fully healthy Chiefs team is still probably the best team in the NFL. So you're going to take an inferior team, take them on the road against this juggernaut. They are who they thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, then the Chiefs again. I feel like they're the team, unlike Dallas, who they take care of it. They're supposed to win big. They win big. They come in. They take care of business. They're leveling up or strengthening up, like we said, and they're only going to get better as they get more healthy. Dames.
Justin Fields, you hurt me. You hurt me, bro. I put a lot of faith in this kid. I hate being wrong. I'm not willing to say it yet, but this week,
But you're not?
dude, look at who they play this week. I'm gonna wait until after this week to say anything officially. Goddamn. Well, I mean, I honestly expected this Bears team to get trounced by the Chiefs, no matter where they're playing. There's a superior roster across the board. And we knew that Justin Fields is not Patrick Mahomes. I just, there's things I liked about his game that I've seen him do. I just wish he would do it on a more consistent basis. And that's what I was hoping for. But terrible game. Couldn't have even been fun to watch.
Yeah, I didn't really. Only thing I watched for was T Swift showing up. All right.
Stop that loss, Bears.
Yeah. Tough loss, the Bears. All right, the Steelers Sunday night football game. Go. Did I skip you? I mean, you need to... All right, let's hear it. My bad.
I kind of wanted to say. Now I forgot. No, the Chiefs were. I thought this was Dolphins 2.0. The Chiefs, I believe, was 34-0 in the first half or something like that. And I was like, "What is going on? Are we going to have another 70 burger?" But for the fact that the Bears just completely sucked, they couldn't score any points to keep the Chiefs starters in there to have to go up to 70. So, I think you hang on another week for Justin Fields' names, and maybe if this Bears-Chiefs game was week 15, 16, maybe it'd be a whole different beats. But at this point of the season, shaky.
I mean, I just feel like Fields is also like, you can't come out, blame the coaches, delete the tweet, talk about, like, come on, man. Like, you're not a high level quarterback if you are literally saying that it's the coach's fault. Just saying, even if you think it is, you don't say it. Now we will go down to Vegas where we gamble away our money. But if we do it responsibly, just like Ricky. Pittsburgh goes to Vegas. I'm the only one that took the Vegas train. And once again, I don't know why I would pick McDaniels. That guy, Jimmy G, please. Pittsburgh is just one of those teams where they just get it done. Watt makes plays when he needs to. They complete passes. They have a run game that they stick to no matter what. And Mike Tomlin, again, there's a reason that he's never had a losing record. There's a reason. Players come and go, but he gets the best out of what he has. So I'm just going to say hats off to Pittsburgh. The Raiders, again, I hate the Raiders, so I don't know why. I'm not picking them anymore. Dames?
TJ Watt is the difference in this game, dude. I think they got to Garoppolo 4 times. 31 yards lost in those 4 sacks. And they didn't get to Pickett on the other side of the ball maybe 1 time. So when you look at defense, I actually like this Raiders roster a lot. They've got some big time weapons that a lot of teams would kill to have. It's just, did they downgrade at quarterback? I have to feel like no one here loves Derek Carr, but do you love Garoppolo?
They're the same person.
Well, let me ask you this first. If you replace Garoppolo with Brock Purdy, are the Niners better? It's a question. It's at least a question. So that said, he's not the worst quarterback in the NFL. So I don't hate this Raiders team. I just think that it's hard to pick them because nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever talks about them. And of course, Tomlin's a great coach. McDaniels should have been gone. I think even Raiders fans would agree with me that McDaniels should have been gone a long time ago. But it's what most of us thought. I mean, honestly, Pittsburgh's going to come there and they're going to win because we don't ever give a second thought to the Raiders. I'm just saying from this point on, I'm actually going to consider them because of the talent they have on the team. So,
and it was pretty. I mean, Devontae Adams is still a monster.
But TJ Watt destroyed this game. Anytime they were moving the ball for hope, he took them out of the game and made it impossible. So that guy's a stud.
Right. Agreed. Gobo.
I think that this game, it comes down to coaching. And I think that the Steelers still are gonna not match up well against like some of the elite teams in the NFL, like like when they played the 49ers week 1. I just think that like if there's that much of a talent disparity, the Steelers can't really overcome that. But in games where the Steelers have a chance to win, like this one, it's going to come down to coaching. And Mike Tomlin is arguably one of the best coaches in NFL history. And Josh McDaniels, I think, should be selling hot dogs in the parking lot. So it's an easy pick. I mean, I love Devontae. Devontae was one of my favorite Packers. His talents are wasted in Vegas, and
his numbers are still great though. I mean,
he's still Devontae. Like, yeah, that's the thing. He's gonna score. He's gonna make the Pro Bowl. He's gonna get 1,200 yards receiving. He's gonna get 21 touchdowns this year, and the Raiders are gonna go 3-14. So like, it's talent wasted. Jimmy Garoppolo, I definitely thought he was better. I remember when the Packers were talking about Rodgers leaving, I was thinking that would be kind of a landing spot for him. But honestly, yeah, I think he's past it.
G-Man?
Guys, I talked to a Raiders fan today, and it is all about Josh McDaniels, and he does not like this guy. And He was saying stuff is coming out now that Derek Carr just started going rogue out on the field, not listening to McDaniel's play calls late in the season because they knew that it wasn't going to work. And that's kind of what they're dealing with, and that's why you have Garoppolo and not Carr. And yeah, Raider fans, or a Raider fan I know, is ready to move on with the coach. Like you said, send him off to the circus or wherever he needs to go because it's bad.
Right. Yep.
Dog cart.
All right, Monday Night Football. I'm the only homer, and I'll call myself out. I jumped on the little Baker Mayfield bandwagon instead of just going with what everybody knows is gonna. I mean, the Eagles came in, and I was wrong. You guys were right. I think I heard something about Hurts was maybe sick or something before the game, or he wasn't feeling. Wow. I would hate. I mean, I love how he's sick and he's still done. Yeah, exactly. Oh, shucks. I feel like the Eagles just came in and just kept doing the things they needed to do, and the Bucks just slowly it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Bowles, I just remember seeing him on the sideline the whole game. At first, it's like, let's go, come on. Oh no, never mind. No, I'm just gonna. So it literally went from talking to quiet. Dames.
I didn't hear about Hurts being hurt before the game or sick.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
He's listed as questionable like almost all week, but everyone knew he was going to play.
Subpar in this game. I think he had 37 throws, 2 interceptions. He didn't play great, and like he hasn't played great this season. And we're always kind of at the end of their games going like, meh. They're still undefeated, but how long is that going to last? This is a testament to the rest of that team, though. You look at the score, 25-11? You look at that's a testament to the rest of the team. Because when you have a quarterback that doesn't particularly play well, and you still dominate a team like they did, you got a good team. And it's something we're going to have to watch for. I'm still waiting for them to put together a competent 60 minutes in all 3 phases.
Right, and your boy Jalen Carter, as we can mention him, he was fucking flying around in this game. Gobo.
You know, the Bucks on a talent level, they kind of remind me of the Steelers a little bit. You know, I think that they got a couple of playmakers, a couple of guys who are kind of on the end of their rope, a couple of young guys trying to make it, make their money in the league, and so. The difference is I think Pittsburgh is way better coached. Where Tampa, I think that, they got a couple of greasy wins. I think that they're, certainly not a bad team, but yeah, just the Eagles. Hurts doesn't need to play that well, for them to win. They got a complete team. I think honestly, I'm really excited to see the NFC Championship this year, which is clearly going to be San Francisco against Philly. I think it's gonna be a crazy game because both those teams are just stacked.
How sweet will that game be if that happens? I mean, probably not good for people who are in the NFC.
I know. I mean, honestly, it means the Packers aren't going to be there, but I'm realistic.
Right. Cowboys, maybe. What about them? Maybe. We'll
see how they're going to beat the Cardinals of the world first.
Right. All right. Once again, there were 2 Monday night games. G-Man Jazz, you want to throw us something here? Dames, you're on mute, by the way. Go ahead.
I mean, I would like to talk about my hate for the Eagles, yes.
Go ahead.
The Eagles' key to success is their offensive line. DeAndre Swift had 16 carries for 130 yards this week. Last week, it was 28 for 175. So it makes everyone's job easier when your O-line is really good and they have a top 5 at worst, probably offensive line in the league. So I hate the Eagles. They look dominant, and when they put it all together, yeah, I don't know if 70's within reach, but they could hit a 50 burger at some point this year.
Well, that explains to me why I have to watch a fucking documentary about a goddamn center.
Good.
The Kelseys.
And Kelsey.
Kelsey Lash, you guys.
Yeah.
I had Sanders Lash. Now I have Kelsey Lash.
You get lashed too easily.
I get
Yeah,
Lash.
you get lashed too easily. Comment below. Make sure you're playing along. Last game of the week for the recaps. The second Monday night game, which now they're doing for that this week again, was the Bungles and their sweet white unis with the white helmets, which I love that. I love that look. G-Man Jass is the only one who picked the home team. We all took the Road Dogs, and NFHell. Just when you think a team is who you think they are, they become someone they're not. And now the team.
You're saying that, but this game was snafu, dude. Like, the Rams won this game. You're not going to convince me any differently. What an ugly, fucking, boring ass game. End to the week. Just terrible football all around. Stafford looked like a fucking rag doll. Burrow is maybe 30% playing because he has $1 billion to account for. Dude, just terrible football. I think if they play this game again today, the Rams win easy. I have not seen anything from this Bungles team that makes me even think they're remotely close to being a contender.
G-Man?
I mean, you take a 30% Joe Burrow versus a aging effort, and I guess you get a close game on second Monday night game, which this coming week there's only one Monday night game, which I prefer.
Don't we all?
But Bengals at home, I mean, yeah, that one was a coin toss. I just happened to take the home team with Joe Burrow and got the win. But yeah, that could have went either way. It was ugly, like Dame said. Garbage.
Gobo, anything to add to this trash?
Yeah, what a shitty game. It was no fun. Both teams looked bad. Bengals get the win. I guess I mean, what the hell is wrong with Joe Burrow? He you would talk about Josh Allen going down from last year. Joe Burrow looks like a completely different quarterback. All that dynamic shit that he's done over the first couple of years of his career, I haven't seen it one time, not for 1 second of these first 3 weeks of the season. So it's like, dude, these are regular season games. You got to get your shit together. Or they're gonna miss the playoffs. They have a real chance to miss the playoffs.
And then my buddy and I were talking last night. It's like, yeah, if they miss the play, is Zach Taylor on the hot seat? If they don't make the playoffs, is it his fault? I mean, you're not going to fire the quarterback who you just gave $200 million to.
Right.
I mean,
nobody else is going to take that contract on.
Right. So, I mean, maybe the Bungles are going to continually be the Bungles and live in NFHell with us.
So, are we all commented out on this week's games? Because I have something to say before we move on.
You can go ahead, Dane.
Okay. With all these comments that we made on all these teams today, including specifically the Bungles, looking forward to this week's cast of games, this is the most difficult decision making I've ever had in the history of NFL. Week 4, season 2. Holy shit, I spent over an hour trying to figure this shit out.
Are you tinkering?
This game, dude, I wish we could skip right to the Bengals, but we won't.
Right.
I mean,
there's some really hard ones.
Holy shit, dude. This is hard. And I want you guys to do it. I mean, I know we're not talking about it anymore just because we don't have time. But if you want to keep score, we look at them, we read your comments, and just see if you can match up against us or beat us.
Right.
It's not hard. It's not hard to do.
Yeah, this week, here's our numbers, our huge numbers. And again, like we say, we're not analysts. We just are on here talking about football. I went 6-10, double-digit losses for the week. I'm at 27-21. Dames went 9-7 this week, up to 26-22. G-Man Jass at 9-7 is at 29-19, taking over the lead. And Gobo finished at a whopping 8-8.
8-8.
Win some, you lose some, and he is now at 26-22, the same as Dame. Look at this tight race. We are all in this. So again, play along at home. Stick around till the end because we got
This week's gonna fuck some shit up.
This week could get ugly.
Wacky as hell.
This week could
I
get
love it.
ugly.
I love it, you guys. Are you ready?
There are
Here we
no
go.
guarantees on this schedule this week.
all right. Week 1. I mean, excuse me, game 1. Wait, we're going in reverse. Week 4, game 1. Gobo is going to start off Thursday night football with quite possibly the biggest game of the Packers season this year, I would say. Gobo.
I'm gonna make an emotional pick here, boys, and I'm gonna take my boys because we're at home. I was looking at the schedule. I saw Detroit week 4. I thought that was probably a game I was gonna pick against the Packers. Because I want to pick logically. I want to pick the teams I really think are gonna win. But we're at home, coming off of a big win. Detroit's not perfect. I think it's in prime time. And like I said, this is the Packers season right here. Like Detroit beats us. They jump ahead in the standings. We're playing catch up, and Detroit's a damn good team. So I think the Packers win this game because they need to. I'm going to say they pull it out by 1 again, and I'm going to say 17-16.
17-16, go Pack, go. G-Men Jazz, who you taking in this game?
Gobo, I agree. It'll be a close game, and I am going to go with the Lions on the road. I think that D line gives them all they can handle, and it is a close one. Lions running game will maintain control of this game down the stretch, and the Lions come away with a win at Lambeau, 27-21. Making Jails wait to write the number by stretching out, saying the same thing as many times as I can here. Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, let's go.
I'm also going to open up on Thursday night with the road dog. I know it's usually, tough to take a road team. I do like what the Packers are doing. I just don't quite believe in Jordan Love yet. And I'm not sure if Aaron Jones is playing this game, so that also gives me a little.
That's a big if. Is Jones, and if Christian Watson comes back as well, he's rumored to come back.
Right, so I'm kind of like, if they don't come back, I feel like Detroit wins this one. If they do come back, it is still a close game. That's why I'm just going to take Detroit in a close one in Lambeau. Again, I'm going for the Packers, but in my brain of 6-10 wins, so again, this doesn't mean shit, I think Detroit wins 24-19. Dames.
You guys have a little bit of history with this game. If you recall, week 17 of last season, this game happened. Detroit beat the Packers and put the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. Thanks for nothing. I mean, we did fucking nothing with it. That said, that was Aaron Rodgers in his worst season as a Packer, which led me to believe he wouldn't do shit with the Jets, which I'm currently correct about. Enough about that. I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Yeah, let's go.
23-24 Packers on an emotional win, coming off another emotional win.
I like that point, James. I mean, you knew I would, but yes, the Lions broke some hearts last year up in the tundra, and it didn't even seem like Aaron Rodgers was sorry afterwards, and that's when I knew he was done being a Packer.
Yeah, he was ready to go to the darkness and then come to my team, which now makes my.
And that was really hard for me to call. First of all,
right, yeah.
I have no idea who's going to win this game.
Yeah, yep. And this is what you were saying. This is like a crazy week. Speaking of the next game, because we don't really know who either of these teams are as well, in my opinion now. Jacksonville's at home against Atlanta. Which Atlanta team shows up? Which Jacksonville team shows up? Gobo, we're going to let you kick this one off too. We're going to go 2 for 2 for you tonight to start off. What do you got?
I was like, this actually is not a home game. They are playing in London.
Ooh, good catch. Thank you.
Yes. So international series. This game is also big news. First time ever in NFL history They will be rendering the players to look like Toy Story characters live as the game is coming across. So this is the Toy Story game. I'm like more excited about this than I should be.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Toy Story. Okay.
This is the Toy Story game. I think Jaguars, they need a tune-up here. I think they figure it out. This game could go either way. It's a really hard pick. I'm going to take Jacksonville. Jacksonville actually has a lot of fans in London because they play a lot of London games. So I'm going to take Jacksonville in a semi-home game in Europe, 27-17 over the Falcons.
G-Man.
Yes, Jacksonville is the home team on the schedule, but like you're saying, Jacksonville does play there all the time, and I remember the Giants beating them once before at least, so I have fond memories of the Jaguars losing, which is why I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons. I believe they take control early, and they don't get behind, and that's what we said was the key to success. Get ahead, run, Bijan, TJ, and Jacksonville has got a lot of questions to answer after this week.
What'd you say for the score there, bud? You don't think I got it?
20-17.
Dames, Marvs.
All right then. We got a game at 8:30 in the morning. On Saturday.
Footy then.
Oh, go get up, Allie.
Fucking awesome. We get to wake up and watch footy right away. I'm talking like Australian now. Jesus Christ.
Crikey. Wait.
Anywho.
Where's the game at?
It's down under, mate.
It's down under.
We're not going to the airport.
We got Jacksonville, 28-24.
28-24. That's what you got for your prediction. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to be with Gobo and Dames. I'm also taking Jacksonville. I think they rebound. I'm going to kind of go back to what I thought about Atlanta at the beginning of the year. I don't think they're that good. I do think Jacksonville's a higher caliber team, which I think they have to rebound and get this win, where Atlanta is just going to, maybe this starts they're going to have a couple game losing streak. So I'm taking Jacksonville at home. 21-20. All right. Another difficult game. I'll start this one off. AFC East battle. Miami comes to Buffalo after scoring 70 points. Buffalo comes off a huge win where they only allow 3. Offense versus defense versus offense. I think that Miami wins a shootout in this game, 38-35. I think they continue to put their foot down on the gas and keep going. I think Buffalo is able to keep up a little bit, but they can't keep up with Hill. Mostert, they just got too high of an octane offense. I'm taking Miami 38-35 on the road in a division battle where Miami says, "Hey, we're going to start being the leader in this division." Dames, you agree?
I see 70 again in this game, gentlemen. Only split between 2 teams.
Okay.
It's going to be a high-scoring affair. I like Miami. I like this. I like Tua. Tua's, a healthy Tua. Tell me you wouldn't want him on your team.
MVP? Right now he's MVP.
Any of you motherfuckers. I would take him over Geno. You kidding me? With our wide receivers? Jesus Christ. Please. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got 35-32 Findos.
G-Man.
I know that's not 70, but fuck it.
I was like, wait, 35.
I like your score.
77.
I'll take your score.
Guys, oddly enough, I'm on the same page as both of you, high scoring, and the stat that kind of sticks out with Tua. I don't know the exact numbers, but basically he gets rid of it faster than everyone, and yet somehow it's at a further average depth than everyone as well when you put all the math together. So it's a real mixture of those short, quick ones, and then just bombs away. And then it all adds up to him getting rid of it quicker than everyone at a longer depth. So obviously with the 70-point outburst, that's going to help those numbers. So we'll see where that ends at the end of the year. But Dolphins on the road 35-31, and I think I know where Gobo's going. Somebody has to go there.
Right, Gobo?
Well, let's go there. Why not?
Oh, here we go.
So, is Tua a good quarterback? Yes, he is. Would I take him over all of the starting quarterbacks on all 4 of our teams? I would. Yes, absolutely. Tua is better than most quarterbacks in the league. He is not better than Josh Allen, and it's not close.
He was last week.
Yeah, well, somebody was. Yeah, I mean, they were playing against the Make-A-Wish kids last week. So honestly, like, Buffalo is way better on defense. It's a home game. I think Miami gets a reality check this week. I think they're a really good offensive team, but they're one-dimensional. Still a playoff team. Still going to give every team all manner of hell. I think Buffalo wins this one. I'm going to say 37-27. Two possession win for the boys from Buffalo.
Is Waddle back this week?
I don't know. I don't think it matters, though. I think even with Waddle, Buffalo still gets this done.
All right, let us know what you guys think down below. Who's going to win these barn burners? So far, 3 for 3. Flip a freaking coin. I was almost just going to come on here and flip a coin for everyone and go, hey, guys, welcome to NFL Flip a Coin.
You could do that this week, yeah.
Right. So we go to Carolina, where the Vikings of Minnesota travel down to meet a team which I feel like both these teams, again, I feel like I could flip a coin. I think that's why all of these are so close, in my opinion. Gobo, we'll start with you. Your division, the Vikings, are they going to take another notch down? Are they going to get a win yet this year?
I said earlier on the show that whenever I pick the Vikings, they lose. I'm going to do it again. You know what? I'm gonna send a curse up north to the boys from St. Paul, and I'm picking the Vikings in this one. On the road, they're a better team. They have a pretty functional offense. Kirk Cousins is definitely a lot more talented. Panthers, I mean, Gardner Minshew is not a starter caliber quarterback. I kind of disagree when Dame said that. I think the Vikings squeak this out. I'm going to take them 24-21 in a boring game that nobody cares about.
All right, I am gonna jump. I'm gonna jump on that with you. As I'm gonna take Minnesota. I don't care who's starting there, if it's the rookie or if it's the redheaded stepchild. Either way, I think Minnesota. I think Kirk Cousins. I think they get a win. They need one. They're gonna figure it out. Their defense isn't gonna have to be. I mean, it's the Panthers, so I feel like their offense can move the ball this game. I think they win 23-21 on the road. The score's a lot closer. Maybe Carolina gets a late touchdown.
I also realized I said Minshew and not Andy Dalton. So, yeah. So, swipe those.
There you go. Dames.
All right. Well, since you brought up Minshew, I have to say, the only reason you guys don't recognize him as a good quarterback is because you had Aaron fucking Rodgers on your team for 12 years. And then fucking Brett Favre before that. That's the only reason.
I'm wearing a Brett Favre
jersey. You don't know what like decent quarterbacks are. You only know what superstars are. So I don't listen to you when you say that. All right. The red rocket.
Red Rocket. That's what I call it.
Red Rifle will be playing this week. That defense is legit, you guys. I saw it firsthand. They were trying to get after it as best as they could. I just don't think they're as bad as a team as we thought they were at the beginning. I think they're actually better with the Red Rifle at quarterback right now. I think Bryce Young's got a lot to learn, and I think he will. I wish his health better because I do think this season is lost for them. So it's a perfect time to have him in. And Dalton's a perfect guy to have mentor him through this first season. This is a must-win game for Minnesota. If they don't win this game, the future is up in the air with the quarterback, with everything. I mean, people are already calling for the coach. It's crazy. It's crazy. But Minnesota fans have probably, I mean, I put them up there with Jets fans, dude. Yeah, they've had really good seasons, but nothing has ever come of it. It's just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. Like, at least you have the Giants who never even ever get there. So I don't have to worry about the heartbreak. right? I got
No, we're not writing.
But when
it.
we
I'm
do,
not
but
They're just
when we
going for
do,
it tonight, man. I
really
but
love
want
it.
when we
Carolina.
do,
I really want Carolina
But we do.
because I want Minnesota to fall apart at the seams, but I just don't think they're going to lose this game. I got Minnesota 31-27.
Team in Jazz. We're all taking the Vikes. Are you taking? You trying to get a win here? You just want to go along with what we're thinking?
I just have to give Dames a little history lesson. 1986, 1990, 2007, and 2011 are all Super Bowl championships for the New York Giants. So please don't put me in the same sentence as the Jets or the Vikings,
You
who
know what?
never
I don't
do
remember what I had for
anything.
breakfast, let alone win 10 years ago.
Oh my god.
They got film for this. I don't want to see what you ate 10 years ago of film.
All right, Minnesota, Carolina, G-Man. Come through the smoke and let's go. Give us your answer. What's Kirk Cousins?
Desperation. I feel the Vikings are the better team with the rifle or Bryce Young at this point. They have to win this, like has been stated, and they do, like everyone is, predicting. 27-15, Vikings on the road. Can they really fuck this one up?
Yeah,
They can.
I mean, yeah, I feel like here's the thing is I love how we all pick Minnesota, but we're all giving points of why they won't win and how it's good. And then we all pick fucking Minnesota. Like
it's the logical pick. It's like it's hard to go against good football, and Minnesota's a better team, but like they just find ways to lose.
Yeah, right. Here's an idea. Just keep throwing it to Jefferson. It's like they don't throw it to him, they throw it to him a bunch. Then they don't, then they do, and it's like just whatever.
Yeah, he's one of the best receivers in the league. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to another coin flipper. Dames Mars, we'll let you start with this. This is your old guy and your new guy. And basically this I feel like this would come down to after this game, one of these quarterbacks is benched or one of these coaches. You know what I mean? We got Denver at Chicago.
Yeah, this one. This is a crap sandwich, you guys. It's like this game is going to be played, whether we want it to or not, or whether it should be or not.
Who's watching this game?
It's going to be played. It's going to be a full house in Chicago, with the Denverites coming only the fucking 16 hours, 14 hours that they need to drive to get there. It's going to be a full house. So some assholes are going to see this game. I actually want to watch this game because I want to see how these two quarterbacks fare, and not really even sure who the coach for the Bears is. Doesn't matter to me at this point.
Matt Nagy?
Is he still?
No way. Is he still there?
There's no way.
I like how we're at NFHell. We don't even know. You're right. I'm like, I feel bad.
Here's the problem. It's not Nagy, but here's the thing. Justin Fields wasn't Nagy's pick, and it wasn't this new coach's pick. So he's kind of in a weird spot, and that's why he's calling out his coaches, because he doesn't feel like he's being used the way that he was intended to be used by the guy that was his coach, who was never really there for him. So, I mean, I'm sure that they're just hoping that he does enough so that they can deal him. But they're very much on the Caleb Williams watch list right now. And Denver's got to be too, because at the end of this season, they have to decide whether they're going to fully guarantee Russell Wilson's contract for the next 2 years moving forward. I can't see it unless he's playing good right now. He's playing Patrick Mahomes level football. Right now. But the rest of the team is just shitting the bed, which is so fucked up, because you think about the only saving grace they had last year was their defense.
Right.
In the offseason, all those guys said, this place blows. I want out. So they left. We got Draymond Jones came over to Seattle from there. We signed him to a big deal, and he's like, thank God. So I can't even imagine the conversation that those guys have about Russell Wilson. But Jesus Christ, you guys, shit sandwich. Like, what bite do I want? I'm going to cut off the crust, and I'm going to pick the Bears 28-27.
All right.
Just because
20
I'd like to see Denver go 0-4. That would just be end of the world for the Rocky Mountain High.
Well, and I'm gonna go next, James. I'm with you. I again, all this field tape. I also want to see Denver. There's just something about Sean Payton that just really rubs me the wrong way. I hope that Denver comes to the Bears now, and I feel like this. You can't tell me you just got 70 burgered. Everyone on your team is thinking and talking about it. Everyone in the media. There's no way you can go in the locker room and go, "Okay, guys, let's just get past this loss. We have a new team to play." I mean, you can say it all you want, but they're also looking at you and saying, we just allowed 70 points. Obviously, the Bears aren't going to score that many points. I think they're going to win a close, boring game. I'm not going to be one of the assholes watching this game. 13-9, Bears win. G-Man Jazz, who you taking?
Guys, I'm not taking anyone in this game. I'm going to pick a tie because they both suck. And why not 0-0-0 fucking 16-1 for both of these pathetic teams? If I had to pick, like there was no such thing as a tie. I think the Bears would be able to run it down their throats one extra time versus whatever Denver will do to their defense. First tie, I'm gonna predict it. I've hit 2 scores on the head. I'm going for 3 now. Tie. Pathetic.
Dude, if this happens,
The score, though, of the tie.
they won't have a head-to-head to break the tie. They won't have teams in common to break the tie because they're 0-16-1. So they'd have to go to points, which means Denver loses and the Bears get the first pick of the draft.
Again, 2 years in a row. Yeah. What's the score, Jess?
24-24.
Okay. I thought you were going to go 0-0.
All right, Gobo.
Their defenses are
So
too bad.
I looked it up. The Bears coach, his name is Matt Eberflus.
There you go.
I've never heard of this man.
I feel like none of us have. This is crazy.
I've heard that name.
You've heard that? I mean, I maybe have heard it in passing, but I couldn't have. I would have
Right.
lost Jeopardy if that was the final question. Yeah. I mean, what can you say about this game? It's garbage. It's shit football. Nobody wants to watch it. Incompetent coaching. Unmotivated players. I mean, there's a couple of good players on each team that are just probably begging their agents to get them the fuck out of there. Like I'm flipping a coin, guys. Like I'm doing the first flip of the year.
Yes, let's go.
I think on paper, if I was gun to my head, had to pick one of these teams, it would be the Bears. But they're both so completely incompetent. So I have here. It's a slammer from Pogs. If you remember Pogs from the 90s, I have a little stack of Pogs behind me, and so I decided, you know what, let's make this fun for the retro people. So, all right, so the black and silver side is heads, and that's the Bears. The green side is going to be the Broncos. Let's flip it.
Flip around. Flip it home.
It's the Bears.
The Bears.
Chicago. Chicago
would've
takes
landed-
it. The home team 13-9, and everybody hates themselves a little bit more than they did the day before after watching it.
All right, agreed. Jess, I know what you were going to say. What if his flip landed on the edge?
Yeah, like the box. Remember when you flipped the box and it landed on
Well,
the edge?
yeah.
That would have.
That's why I didn't flip another box, because that
Seconds
could have happened, and I would have just gone with you. I'd have picked the tie.
He gets to see 30 seconds into the future, which tells him nothing about this game.
Yeah, it doesn't know about any game. He can't even make any prediction correct. Oh, man. Anyway, all right. Moving on. Baltimore goes to Cleveland. Baltimore coming off a loss. Cleveland coming off a pretty big win. That defense is playing well. I'm going to start this one off. Again, I can't pick Dick Touch guy. Baltimore, I feel like, needs a win. They need to come out and say, you know what, hey, last week was kind of a, we need to get our shit together. Harbaugh rallies the troops. I think they come in and they put a little a stamp on why they are a good team and one of those top AFC teams. I think they beat the Browns, and I hope they beat the Browns. 30-13 on the road. Gobo.
This is another one. This is a tough pick. Browns have a good defense. And Deshaun Watson, it's tail of the tape, aside from his, personal exploits, he was kind of an elite quarterback before he got in trouble. Will he return to form? It's possible. Michael Vick recovered after a jail stint. So, it's like, could Deshaun Watson come out and win this game? I think he could. That's why it's a hard pick, but I'm taking the obvious choice. I'm taking the Ravens on the road. I think they have a come to Jesus moment in practice this week after taking that loss to Indianapolis. So I think Ravens win it. I'm gonna go 31-17. I think they have a decisive win, and the Browns are they get punched down a little bit.
James.
All right. So the Ravens coming off an overtime loss to Gardner Minshew. You guys, I'm telling you, he's a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. He is. I don't really have anything to back that up, but the eye test, he's very serviceable. You'd be lucky.
Shorts.
You'd be lucky to have him.
Shorts.
That said, Baltimore's coaching is far superior to Cleveland's coaching. A lot of things are similar with these teams. I do think Cleveland has the edge on defense. I don't think Watson's ever going to be the Watson of old, but I definitely was a little bit scared watching him. Last week he looked pretty damn good. So they really needed that after they lost Chubb. They did get Hunt back immediately, which we kind of predicted. So it doesn't hurt as much, but definitely is going to hurt a little bit. And I think while Hunt gets up to speed, Baltimore is going to have their number this time in Cleveland. So I got old Browns going into new Browns, 31-28.
That's what she said. G-Man Jazz.
Guys, I think Myles Garrett continues his dominance and wreaks havoc, and Lamar has been known to fumble from time to time and make some mistakes. And the Browns offense is looking better, and they can run the ball, control the clock, play good defense, and if they have an ex-elite quarterback playing at above average, I think they get another win, and the Browns are going to start being talked about as one of those dark horse teams to make the playoffs and maybe make a run because they do have that really good defense. So Myles Garrett for another couple sacks. Cleveland more 20.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. You were itchy.
23-20.
Thank you. Thank you, my brethren. Pittsburgh at Houston. Gobo. Another interesting game of
I was going to say another tough one. Because I think both of these teams, I think CJ Stroud showed that he's got, an NFL caliber arm. He's got he reads the field well. God, this is what a tough one. So honestly though, what else does Houston have? And I think that with the amount of talent, I think is pretty congruent, and I think it comes down to coaching again. I'm going to take the Steelers on the road. I think Mike Tomlin finds a way to get it done. I think that the Steelers kind of put some pressure on Cincinnati in that division. I'm going to say Steelers 31-21 over the Houston guys.
The Texans. Jazz, G-Men.
The Houston guys are the Texans, and I know not a lot of people know about them because they have literally been in hell since their existence. I have them in kind of one of my surprise picks. I like to go against Pittsburgh once in a while because sometimes they just lose a stupid game that you're like, really? And then sometimes you pick against them and then next week I'm like, why did I pick against these guys against Houston? But I feel like the defense for Houston's playing good, and like you said, like I'm going to say their defense, TJ Watt, talked about him a little bit earlier, 6 sacks in 3 games, which puts him on pace for 34 sacks, which for if you guys don't watch football out there and you're checking in, 22 and a half sacks is a single season record by TJ Watt and Michael Strahan, yes. So I'm going to take Houston. And with me saying all this, I'm going to still take Houston 17-16 at home.
All right. Well, I'm going to use both of your points, Gobo and G-Man Jackson. I'm actually going to take the Steelers as well as you, Gobo. I'm taking them on the road 27-20. I think Tomlin has this team believing and rolling in his system. Like you said, Watt's healthy. CJ, rookie quarterback, facing that for the first time. This isn't last week, Houston. So I think Pittsburgh comes in and they win 27-20. They run the ball well, play good D, don't make mistakes. That's kind of their MO. And then Houston, I feel like, again, I won't be surprised if Houston wins, but I just think Pittsburgh is still doing pretty well. James Mars.
Are we 3 on Pittsburgh right now?
No. 2-1. 2 Pitts, 1 Hughes. Tom.
All right. I'll stay as was. I do think Stroud throws his first interception this week. And I think it's due to a pass rush. I don't even need to say names. We all know who's coming. We all know who's here. I'm going to go Pittsburgh 24-12.
Okay. Back to Minshew Magic. Dames, we'll start you on this one. The Scrams going to Indy.
Yeah.
Is Richardson back or is Minshew the man?
I think Richardson's still out. Like I said, I think that this Indiana defense is going to get after old Matt Stafford. And I say old Matt Stafford because what a difference 1 week to week 3 makes. Holy shit. Because he looked like a rookie stud in week 1, and then last week he just shit the bed. Looking like the old man that he is. So I'm going to go Indianapolis 21-20.
21-20. Gobo.
Yeah, I think Dames, you're right on. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think the Colts defense stacks up really well with a Rams offense that was kind of humming a little bit at the end of the game against Cincinnati. If Matt Stafford shows up correct, I think the Rams could steal this one, but I think the Colts defense is going to shut them down pretty good. I think it's going to be a low scoring one. I'm going to say 17-14 Colts at home.
Demon. Who you got?
I got the Rams on the road. I don't know if I believe in the Minshew magic twice in a row, and or if Richardson comes back as a rookie coming off a concussion. I don't know if it'll take him a while to catch back up to the speed of the game, or if he'll just come out running like a madman. Be interesting to see. Close game, could go either way. Rams 19, Colts 17.
I am going to go with G-Man Jazz in a very close game with the Rams winning. It looks like we all have 2 to 3 point game wins. I'm going to take the Rams on the road. I don't believe in Indianapolis's defense that much, and I'm kind of with the Minshew thing. I do think he is a valuable player, and he is a starter in this league, which, I mean, I would take him over Zach Wilson, if I'm being honest. But I also think Stafford comes in, and I feel like they play a lot better game. McVay's game plan against the Colts, I think he'll be able to dice them up. So I think they come in and win a close one, 26-24. If you're watching at home or listening at home in your garage, make sure to chime in. Tell us what you think. Pick your pick. Share with your friends. subscribe. You know all the noise.
Hey,
All right.
also let us know if you guys want an audio version of this show.
Something we discussed for sure.
Yes. All right, moving on to the Aints. Tampa Bay is going down to New Orleans to take on the Saints. I'll go ahead and start this one off. I'm still a little pissed off about Tampa Bay last week not showing up. I thought Baker really looked good week 1 and 2, and week 3 he just didn't look the same. I do think a carless Saints team, famous Jameis, just isn't going to be able to get it done. I think Tampa Bay's defense confuses him enough. On the road, I think Tampa Bay goes to New Orleans. And again, I feel like sometimes when you switch to a new quarterback, it takes a week or two to kind of go, okay, this is our new guy. We're going to get used to him. I'm not saying famous Jameis can't win some games, but I don't think he does it this week. 17-14, I think the Bucs bounce back. Gobo.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I could like put a contingency because I think that if Carr plays, I think the Saints win. But I don't think he's going to play. I think that they're going to rest him. It's a division game. It's not a must-win scenario yet. The Saints are still 2-1. So I think Jameis plays, and I think I'm going to agree with you. I think Tampa comes and gets the win on the road. I think Mike Evans has a big game against that defense. I think the Tampa gets their run game going. I think they hold the ball, a time of possession win. And I think they take it 26-21 on the road.
G-Man Jazz.
I was thinking I had a score of 23-20 on the road. Is that what you just said, Gobo?
No.
I said 26-21.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in Jameis, and all the things you said are all true, so I don't have anything to add to that game. I won't be watching that game.
Yeah, it's
Fans of these teams are just like, geez, NFL, come on. James Mars.
I mean, unless they come across the Red Zone channel. Red Zone channel.
Red Zone.
I won't be tuned
James,
in.
we all took Tampa Bay. This is your chance.
Without a car, how do they get anywhere? I mean, yeah, you got Jameis Winston, but you got Taysom Hill, which I've seen what he's capable of.
Yep.
Go duo threat. You're almost going to have to pull out a wins. This is a big one for them because it's interdivision, and they want to stay towards the top. This is how you do it. I don't think they will. I got Tampa 24-21.
24-21. We all four took Tampa Bay. All right. Washington at Philly. Last week I took, some upsets. This week I'm definitely not doing with this Philly game. I feel like Philly will control this game. The Commanders are who we thought they were, and Philly is just going to continue to roll. I think they win 42-14. They're going to win big. It's at home. It's a division game. If you can't get up for division games, I don't know why you're playing pro football. Gobo.
Yeah, hey, the one easy one on the calendar this week. Yeah, Eagles are going to win big. Commanders, they're kind of a second tier team. I hate to say it. They got a couple of really talented guys. Riverboat Ron can throw some wrenches in some engines, but yeah, Philly's just too much of a complete team. They're at home. They got no excuse to lose this one. Maybe there'll be an upset. I just don't think so. 37-3 Eagles.
Dames.
I look for Chase Young to wreak some havoc on Hurt this week. Is this the game that we finally see Philly play a complete 60 minutes in 3 phases? I don't think so. Do I think they sneak it out? Yeah. 31-34. I don't think it's as big of a gap as everyone else seems to think.
A close one in Philly. G-Man.
Guys, does this have the potential to be the Dallas-Arizona game of no.
Hey.
No, it doesn't. The difference is Philadelphia is at home, 1, and 2, they're not partying in Arizona the night before the game. Philadelphia 35, Washington 17. Sam Howell has another bad game, and the media is going to start chirping that is it already time to go to Jacoby Brissett and tank for Caleb or some other stud.
Yep.
Fuck the Eagles.
We all know how you feel about the Eagles. All right. Cincinnati coming off their wins, going to Tennessee. Tennessee, one of those teams that we're all kind of like, oh my gosh. Cincinnati is actually, in my opinion, also one of those teams. This was really a tough game for me to pick because I feel like, again, will Tennessee's defense play better this game since it just came off a loss? Are the Bengals actually going to continue to maybe build off this momentum? It is in Tennessee. I know, again, sometimes I don't really think that matters. And in this case, I don't. I think Cincinnati does come down and handle business. I think they start, hopefully starting to piece some stuff together, get that running game going. 21-10 Cincinnati on the road in Tennessee. I feel like Tannehill gets benched this game. G-Man Jazz.
I would love for Tannehill to get benched because I've been calling it for a while, and not sure how I picked them yet. Still, again, last week, I still can't understand why I did that, but I'm not doing it this week. Bengals on the road. I don't like this Bengals team right now, and I don't have a lot of faith in them, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with the history they have and, getting that first win in the column. Maybe Joe heals up a little bit this week and looks a little bit more like him old self. 27-24. The Bungies go to 2-2.
James.
I have no faith in Cincinnati right now. I have no faith in an injured Joe Burrow making all that money. I think it's going to be he's going to look like Tannehill. It's going to be Tannehill versus Tannehill. Tannehill's going to win at home, 19-27.
All right, 19-27. Gobo.
James, you pick the Titans?
Yep.
Okay. Honestly, this is another game that you could probably flip a coin, and I think it's just I'm not going to. But it's just because we don't know who either of these teams are. Neither of them has really shown any positive potential. They're both tremendously mediocre at this point. I'm gonna give it to Cincinnati just because they are coming off the win. I think even Burrow is probably gonna have another bad game. I think he still finds a way to get one touchdown, maybe two interceptions. They win an ugly one, 21-17. Another game is just no fun to watch. Cincinnati, I don't get it. I don't understand why they're playing so poorly.
Right. I know, it's just it's insane to all these games I feel like so far, especially now even going to this next one where we're just how crazy is it? We're in week 4 and we're all just what do we pick? So again, analysts out there, people out there viewing, when you're picking these games, again, tell us why you pick these teams and, listen to our reasons and we'll get back to you. Next week, Vegas travels up just a little bit to LA. It's a division game. The Raiders go up to the Chargers. G-Man Jas, we will start with you in this game. Yadens, who you got?
Division game. Probably not a lot of fun for a lot of people to watch. Am I cutting out again?
No, you're just right.
You're just
oh, okay. I was like, you're shaking your heads. I'm like, wait a minute.
This game.
I gives a shit about this game.
Yeah.
Chargers at home, 31-17. The Raiders' hell is real. McDaniel's seat is getting hotter, and all my Raider friends are getting a little darker into winter as it goes on. NFHell,
and I'm going to go with you, G-Man Jazz. I'm going to also pick the Chargers at home. It's a division game. It's one of those things where, again, I'm just I'm flipping a coin, I'm just picking one of the teams. I'm with you. I think they're It's kind of like you have Devontae Adams, you have Jacobs. You're just wasting the offense. And the Chargers again, they have so much stuff. It's like they have to try not to win against the Raiders. So I think they do pull it out 23-20. It is a division game, so I think division games a lot of the times are close. Dames Marvs.
Guys, I like the roster of the Raiders. I do. I looked over it this week. I really like it. I don't like that Mike Williams went down for the season. They've already had problems scoring points. The Chargers have. It's not going to be good for their locker room losing one of their emotional leaders. I just think it's a bad situation for them. I just got the Raiders 23-21.
Dames, let me ask you this, Dames. Are you talking about like their fantasy roster or their entire roster? Like, what depth chart are you looking at here? Like,
Sean Payton would be in a much better situation had he taken the Raiders job instead of the Broncos job. I'll just say that.
But defensively, like,
Yeah, but would the Raiders be in a better position if he would have taken that job?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Sean Payton on his numbers. Anyway, we can debate that until all of us turn Seahawk blue. Gobo.
Yeah. McDaniels sucks. I mean, honestly, like the fucking the Raiders are just they have a couple of really talented guys, but they're a bad team. I think they got a lot of dysfunction going on. And as bad as the Chargers are, they do have a functional offense. I mean, losing Evans is definitely it's a shot, but I think that Justin Herbert, it's basically a road game for the Chargers because the Raiders fans are going to take over SoFi. But yeah, I just think the Chargers have one positive element. The Raiders don't. So they win it 24-13. Another game that nobody really wants to watch.
All right. Moving on to a division game, as in my division, the AFC East versus G-Man Jass's division, the NFC least. Dallas at home against the Patriots. G-Man Jass, who you got on this game? Another tough one.
I didn't quite find this one as tough because I feel like Dallas is going to be ready and rearing to go and kind of say that last week was just a party or blip in the radar for now. At home, New England had already lost 2 home games. They went on the road once, but I don't think they do it again. Dallas 31, New England 17. Although obviously I would prefer a Patriots win. I just don't think the offense has enough to keep up with what Dallas will score.
Dames.
Well, is this great Dallas defense going to do what the great Jets defense couldn't do, and that is get to Mac Jones? I'm going to say they are. And that's the reason I have Dallas squeaking out a win 28-27. Because I do think they get to Mac Jones in this game. I think they'll make it a priority because anybody that's watched them, and I watch them pretty closely every week, he is prone to make mistakes if you get at him a bunch. But if you leave him clean, he'll tear you up. So I just don't see this Dallas team. They're going to be mad. They're at home at Jerry World. I just don't see them not putting pressure on Mac Jones. Now, if Belichick can scheme his way out of that and keep his guy clean, which should be his first priority, then I'll just anoint him even higher than I already have him on my list of all-time coaches. But I just don't see a way around it. Micah Parsons is destructive. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'm very excited to see how this game goes, and I do think it was really hard to call.
Gobo.
I totally agree. This is definitely a lot harder. It shouldn't be hard to call because I mean the Cowboys are the logic pick here. They're a lot more talented, and I think that yeah, as much as the Patriots are a dark horse, wild card, whatever you think, I just think that the Cowboys are going to be this is a tune-up game for them. Coming off of a really ugly loss, and I was like the team last week against the Cardinals, that wasn't the Cowboys. Like that's not Dallas. That they I don't know what exactly happened, if it was like a Space Jam, aliens took their powers type thing, but Dallas isn't going to look that bad again. So I think they give it to the Patriots 28-10.
Right. And basically on my game, I picked Dallas by 18-14, but I also feel like the whole thing, I could just say, how about New England wins 18-14? Because I just do feel I'm kind of with, I feel like if Belichick comes in there and takes away, where's he going to take Pollard maybe, or he takes away CD Lamb, whoever Dax, and then makes them one dimensional. They run the ball on offense. Mac Jones makes those little simple throws, and they are missing Diggs in their secondary now. So you never know.
It's
All
possible.
that being said, yeah, it's possible. All that being said,
Possible.
I'm with you guys. Dallas can't lose two in a. I mean, if they do, Jerry will be flipped upside down. We'll be talking about that next week.
Win.
Yep. So all four of us taking Dallas at home in a rebound game. Again, we're counting the Patriots out, which sometimes
I'm not counting them out.
Okay. All right.
I'm not counting them out. I will not be surprised at all if they win this game, because the one thing we do know is Belichick's a great coach. We don't know how he actually breaks down each scenario. And when you're looking across the offensive table at Dak Prescott, I just got to think Belichick knows what he's going to do to stop him. I just got to believe that.
Another point with that, Mike McCarthy, not a great coach.
Not a great coach.
And right. We're all taking Dallas. Like,
well,
this is
that's because it makes sense on paper.
Because Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the league.
Right. But he did nothing. What did he do against Arizona? How did this is what my questions are like.
He had diarrhea against Arizona.
Okay. I think so, yeah.
Remember?
What's that? Don't forget TJ Watt.
It's Buffalo. I think Parsons is better than TJ Watt.
I mean, I don't think Lawrence Taylor took a day off though, or a playoff, or a game off. I think he was breaking people's backs every game.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor would just shit his pants. He didn't care.
Yeah, right. All right. Maybe now when I say here's one of the easier picks of the week, is it really though? Is it really? Because Arizona comes off this huge win. Now they go to San Francisco. The big what if, in my opinion, what if they go to San Fran and win? Like, what if NFL? Think out there. They go there and win this game. The NFL world. Here we are. We're all in like, what's going on? That's why it's beautiful, and that's why it's awesome, because every team is so good. That being said, I'm not going to homer out this week and take one of these upsets of blah, 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 blah. I'm taking the Niners at home. I think they easily handle the Cardinals. I would love to see the Cardinals pull this upset again, but now that they did that, I almost feel like it entices the Niners to like, okay, we better actually take this one serious. So I think they keep rolling. They're the team to beat, in my opinion, and they win 38-16. Dames.
I actually think San Francisco is going to destroy them.
Yeah.
17-31.
G-Man.
This is my third straight game of that same score, Damon. 31-17, 49ers over Arizona. And, they're at home. They have 10 days, or, they played Thursday night football, so they have an extra couple days to prepare. And like you said, if they were kind of on a little vacation there and then they happen to catch the score, they're probably like, all right, let's get back to work. We got Friday and Saturday off, or whatever it is, whatever their schedule is. And I mean, even if they're 80%, still think San Francisco beats Arizona. Like I said, 31-17. Too much firepower.
We have the same score even? Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You two double dipping. Gobo.
45-7 San Francisco. I think it was a fluke. I don't think Arizona's a very functional team. I think that I don't think they're the worst team in the league anymore after watching Chicago and Denver last week. But I think Arizona is still bad. I think that they're still a top 5 pick in the draft next year. And San Francisco could be the best team in the NFC. Like I said, I think San Francisco Eagles is going to be a badass NFC Championship game. Yeah, they're not gonna struggle against Arizona. 45-7.
All right, guys, at home, make sure you're playing along. Comment below, tell us your picks. We love hearing from everyone. Again, thank you. We got 2 games left. The reason I'm having this little segue, obviously, the New York Jets are at home. Sunday night football. This was going to be Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers in a shootout on Sunday night football. Everyone's going to be tuning in. And now everyone's going to be tuning in to watch the Jets get their asses kicked by the Chiefs on Sunday night football. Now, 2 things I want to say about this game. Number 1, obviously, I'm trying to win when I'm picking games, so I'm not going to homer out and pick the Jets. We're going to get destroyed by the Chiefs. We should. Here's the thing. If I pick the Jets and we somehow miraculously, the defense plays how they're supposed to, we shut down the Chiefs offense, Zach Wilson somehow looks whatever, okay, and we squeak out a win, you guys, I don't care. Anybody can come out here and say, I can't believe you didn't pick the Jets. That's fine, because that's a win-win for me, because either I'm going to win in here or I'm going to win in real life. So that's how I have to balance out and make sure that my NFHell balances out to make any type of meaning out of any game. I'm going to take the Chiefs coming into New York, being who they are. Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh are going to be talked about the whole next week. Is he going to get benched? Is our new Trevor Seaman coming in to play now? So 24-10 Chiefs on the road. God damn it, James.
Yeah, this one is where I am really bummed out because I had this circled on my calendar. I had all your first 4 games circled on my calendar, to be honest with you, because I was like, this is going to be awesome. And so far, it's not awesome at all.
Oh, NFHell, dude.
Got to say that Patrick Mahomes was picked 6th in week 1. You certainly have a better defensive prowess than Detroit. So don't count that out. Might get some points from your defense. Better hope you do, because I don't see Zach Wilson moving the ball much, or Trevor Siemian for that matter. Like I said, it's time to start getting on the phone. There's a couple of quarterbacks could be yours for next to nothing. Chiefs 38-17.
The long Sunday night for me. Jess.
Speaking of quarterbacks, everyone, did you happen to see Colin Kaepernick send a letter to the Jets requesting a shot at their practice squad to help them prepare for all kinds of defenses and not be a distraction for Zach Wilson, but to be an available weapon should and if something were to arise?
I like that approach.
I did too. I don't know why they wouldn't, to be honest with you.
Might as well spin those old wheels. See if they got anything left in the tread.
He's not asking for a roster spot. He's not asking for a huge paycheck. He just wants a shot.
Yeah,
what if he just is lights out
for 5 weeks?
Right.
And you're somewhat competent in that time. And he gets up.
What does it cost you?
And he gets up to speed.
Right.
I was never a huge fan of his, obviously, because he was a fucking 49er. But I remember the NFC Championship game where he was running full speed to the side and just threw a fucking rope over Earl Thomas's fingers. He jumped as high as he could and it went straight into the receiver's hands in the end zone. I was like, if he's capable of that, we're going to lose this game. Thankfully, Richard Sherman had other things to say at the end of it, but I like it. I mean, whatever. I don't know that you can do it without a distraction, though.
Right. I know. That's the thing, is like Kaepernick, maybe, especially in New York.
You have so many fans going, fuck the Jets, fuck the NFL.
Fuck Kaepernick.
I'm just like, get out of here, dude.
Get out of
Honestly, yeah. I mean, Kaepernick. Here's the thing, though, too, is he lost his touch as a quarterback before all the political stuff happened. Like, people forget the 49ers were 1-15 the season that he did the kneeling thing. So, like, he's not good enough to be in the NFL anymore. But should the Jets give him a chance? Yeah, why not?
See what happens.
Yeah,
Jim and Jess-
couldn't be worse than their fourth string quarterback.
Right. Oh, Boyle rules. Did you pick a score on this? G-Man Jazz for this Sunday night mayhem?
No, no, we kind of went on a tangent there, but I have the Chiefs winning on the road 27-18.
And Gobo, I'm going to go on a limb here and say we're probably going with all of us and picking the.
I am. The Jets are a good team with a missing piece, but it's a big one. Not having a competent quarterback has basically stalled out the Jets offense. And it doesn't matter how good your defense is, Mahomes is going to find a way to score. I'm going to go, 28-16. Chiefs get it done. Not really a struggle at all. I think the Jets get a couple of turnovers that keep the score that close.
JL's last time this happened was Bills Jets last year, and we all picked the Bills, and we know what happened.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, like I said, a win in real life is better than a win here, especially if I'm picking against the Jets. Last but yeah, there's a meme out there. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy. They put the thing wrong, and they're of course.
Are you serious?
The guy fucking teeth falling out this last game. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Bullshit.
All right. NFL last game of the week. It's kind of big here on NFL because we have this side of the room gonna have to battle it out, talk about their teams. Seattle flying all the way across the country to battle the New York Football Giants. And here's what's gonna happen. Gobo and I are gonna go first. Yeah. That way you two can go. So Gobo, we're gonna have you lead off the last game of the week, Monday night.
Yeah, I can go to bed while you guys talk about this. This is a tough one. I think this is an evenly matched game. I think both teams have a lot of potential, but have not really played the best in the first 3 weeks. So that being said, it's a primetime game. Could be a lot of fireworks. I'm taking the homeboys. I'm taking the G-men on this one. I think that Daniel Jones finds the end zone a couple of times. I think their defense kind of figures it out. I think Seattle struggles. I think Geno Smith makes a couple of big mistakes. Not like you switch this game to Seattle, I'm probably on Seattle. It's really evenly matched. I think the Giants take it 24-21 with a last second field goal.
All right. I am going to actually do pretty much the same thing as you, Gobo. I'm taking the Giants in a close one, 28-27. I think Daniel Jones, he can run and pass. I think that just causes issues. They're at home. The last time, they lost to the Cowboys 40-0 at home. They really want to bounce back, give their crowd something to cheer about. Flying all the way across the country. I know right to left, they say is worse, but I still feel like a lot of travel. Jamal Adams doesn't really make a difference in this game. He's a pile of shit. So, all right, let's move on to the Seahawks and the Giants. Fan, are we going to flip a coin to go who goes first? Or actually, I think maybe the home team should go last. The road dog should get to go first. Dame's
the guy should go.
Yeah. Wow. A lot to think about, you guys. Fuck the both of you. No.
All right.
Last year we went into New York and we won handily, without much fanfare, without much issue whatsoever. I feel like we're a better team this year. I know that the Giants have added some pieces this year to try and close the gap between them and their division rivals, but I also know that I have no idea what the ceiling is for this current Seahawks team. I don't know what Geno Smith is going to show up. Is it going to be the gunslinger, smart player, or is it going to be Corky from Life Goes On? I don't know. I've happened to see both, but I've seen the competent Geno growing from week to week. Week 2 against the Lions, he pitched a perfect game. Was masterful, and that was away against a pretty good defense. I do hope that the Giants have all their players back, because like I said, I don't want any excuses on the injury note. Adams is coming back. I don't know where he's going to play. I would expect he'll be right around the line of scrimmage. That's where I'd put him. We are missing both of our tackles again, and actually 80% of our line that started the season is out for this game. So only our center remains. So it'll be interesting to see if Geno's mistakes are predicated on just his own mistakes or pressure from guys that are not used to playing those positions. We have a dual attack at running back. We have a massively improved run defense. I think if we can stop the run, whether Saquon's there or not, whether we can stop the run, look for Uchenna Nwosu to put a lot of pressure on Danny Dimes, and hopefully we get some turnovers. I think turnovers is going to be the story of this game. Whoever has the most on the defensive side is going to win. So I'll say Seattle 35-28.
All right. Not a surprise there. If you're playing along at home, let us know who you got. G-Man Jas, we're going to let you walk off the show. Tell us who you want.
All right, before I get into my pick, I'll tell you my very new gambling strategy. Ricky, what do you think of this? I do 2-way parlays. I pick a touchdown score from each team every game, $1. That's $16 for the week. I pick a touchdown score from each team in a parlay, and I hit 2 $20 ones and a $7 one. So I made a little money. Ricky, what do you think of my strategy? I'm going to try it again this week and see what happens. Seems responsible, fairly cheap, and I won some money. So with that being said, I'm going to go into my game. Giants at home, Monday Night Football, and a huge game for the Giants. And, you know, it's a scary game because we haven't looked good really for 10 out of 12 quarters, 9 out of 12 quarters. And you're talking about, can Philly put 4 quarters together? Can we put, 2 quarters together, 1 per half and keep it close? I don't know. But this was the week I said teams start to really get together that maybe need to gel longer or, just take a little longer to get going. Giants last year after a loss 7-1-1. So I'm looking forward to seeing us, repeat that trend with a really good record. And Dames, to your point, defense need to force turnovers. The Giants and the Raiders are the only defense to yet force a turnover all season long. That has to change, and it has to change Monday night. So I got Giants at home 31-27, but I really do think Seattle is been a better team this year up to this point. So we really got to rise up to the challenge and get some pressure on Geno, force a couple turnovers.
One more.
You got a point?
Something that JL said. Yes, it's all the way from West Coast to East Coast. Nobody does that better than Seattle during the Pete Carroll era, and it's Monday Night Football, so we'll be there already. Ain't a fucking thing at all. So the problem with going from West Coast to East Coast is you play at noon most of the time, which is 10 a.m. Seattle time. Which, I mean, that's hard. Be hard for anybody. But when you got a night game, you can't even really factor that in. It's not, and an extra day. So,
True.
Fair enough.
Yeah, make sure Make sure you guys stick around right after we go bye-bye. Ricky's picks. He's going to come in, let you guys know what to do again. Gamble responsibly. Give him a shout out if you're winning, if he's helping you out. He'd appreciate it. We appreciate the love and the support. This is Midwest Jet, NFHell. We'll see you back here, same time, same channel. Dames Marvs, G-Man Jazz, Gobo.
Good luck, Dames.
You too, brother.
NFHell, thank you for watching. See you next week.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Montalvo back here again. It's week 4, the NFL 2023 season, and we are currently coming off our first loss of the year. Went to 1-2 on the week, so that puts our record at 6-4, which puts us at 1.6 units made. So we're still on the positive side there. If we're just paying the standard juice, we should be looking at $160 if you're $100 better. Again, as always, stick to unit size, stay small if you are just beginning. Otherwise, this is for entertainment purpose only, my friends. So what did we learn this week about losing? So it felt good to go 3-0 last week, but we're going to lose some weeks. It's just part of the process here. But, I like to visualize it. We started off the season on a platform here, with the water below us, and we've increased, and we're still kind of sitting on this platform here. We jumped up quite a few spots. We had to take a step down, but we're still above that water level. Okay. So now is not the time to panic. Now is not the time to get off the roller coaster. Stick to that unit size, like I said, and we're going to bounce back here. All right. Stick to what I'm feeding you. Hopefully you're able to get a lot of the numbers that I'm going to be laying down here today. So yeah, last week, to review last week, Pats -2.5, never really a question there. Could have went sideways, but felt good about that one. Kind of a no sweat. Bucks +5. What a brutal just game plan from the Buccaneers to go out there and to try to run Rachaad White through the teeth of that defense when they should have been dinking and dunking with a healthy, Godwin and Evans and running through the air that way. Baker trying to do too much, but he turned it back into a pumpkin, which was possible. So blowout there. That's a shame. And then this one, the Broncos +6.5. Oh, baby. I'm sure a lot of you are just like, goodbye. See you later, Ricky's picks. I'm done with you. They got blown out 70-20. Look, games get out of hand. That one did. It is what it is. It's a position with a big number that I really liked. It just didn't work out. In Miami, because I want to give them their flowers here, they are playing at an excellent level, but it's only September. We got to keep going here, see what this team is really made of. But if they are able to beat the Bills this week, we may be talking about them as the best team in the AFC. But that's also a little teaser here for what we're about to get into, my friends. So let's get back to the grind. Take a deep breath. We lost. It's okay. We didn't go 0-3. 1-2 is not bad. But we're going to get the bounce back here right now with Rookies picks. So getting into our slate, we're going to go straight to Thursday night football. That's right. We're going to take a Thursday night game with the first pick of Ricky's picks. We have the Detroit Lions taking on my beloved Green Bay Packers after a team victory, coming back in the fourth quarter to win the game, down 17. A historical comeback for the team. So I am a Packers fan, but I'm not afraid to fade my own team when it comes to money. You should take the same stance to whoever it is that you like. I actually backed the Packers opponents the past 2 weeks on my own. One was the Falcons. The Falcons won. I was able to give that out to you guys and also cover that for myself, of course, because anything I give you guys, I'm financially invested. I'm riding with you on it. Okay. Then the next week, I had the +1 on the Saints, so I pushed that number. But if you had the hook, if you had the 2, which was nice earlier, you covered that game. But in this position, I'm not fading my team. I'm riding with my team. The Packers on a short week as the Lions travel to 1265 Lombardi. What's the analysis on this one? It's an easy bet to make. You're getting a home primetime dog. I'm staring at nothing but 1.5s out there right now. Hopefully, as this is recorded on a Tuesday, like always, tomorrow on Wednesday, hopefully you're able to get that number. Goff outdoors, he's not good. I don't know what it is. This is a team that came into Lambeau last year and were able to kind of punk the Packers out of the postseason. So the Packers are going to remember that. They have been building up to this game. This one's been circled. You've got the rest of the division at 0-3. This is to put someone in the driver's seat. And I'm presuming that the reason why the Packers this past week held out a lot of their starters was to get to this game. Jair Alexander, inactive. Watson, inactive. Aaron Jones, inactive. Bakhtiari, inactive. Elgin Jenkins, inactive. Looking at the practice report today, Christian Watson, limited. Jones, limited. Jair, limited. Bakhtiari, DNP, that's fine. I'm not sure if he'll play. But I think that's why they did that. They're looking to get those guys back onto the field and get their talent back. That's why that win was so juicy kind of for the Packers this past week, was the fact that they didn't have a lot of stars. And there was some variance there with Derek Carr, some luck where Derek Carr did get hurt. That's very unfortunate. I don't wish any player getting hurt, but it did allow the Packers to shut down Jameis Winston, the offense, and cover. Not cover, but get the win on and out right there. So give me the home prime time dog of the Green Bay Packers, +1, +1.5. I like it here. Only thing that gives me pause is that it was an emotional win for the Packers, and sometimes there's a letdown spot there. As the Lions also just blew out the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, let's go. Give me the Packers. First pick, Ricky's picks. And moving on to a game that I teased earlier, as we talked about the Miami Dolphins traveling to Highmark Stadium, the Buffalo Bills at noon. Right now, I am seeing a lot of 2.5s and 3s out there right now. I was able to get this at 2.5. So where are we going with this? Bills. I think they're the better team. I'm not going to overreact to what we saw and what the entire nation is talking about right now in the Miami Dolphins. Mollywhopping the Denver Broncos, a bad Denver Broncos team, a team that I just had a poor assessment on going into this season. This is in Buffalo. You're getting them at under 3 right now. And it's like I said before, it's easy to win games in September. I think the Dolphins are a summer team, but that's just my opinion. This should be a comeback to earth spot for the Miami Dolphins. I will absolutely eat crow and apologize to all Dolphins fans if they are able to go into Buffalo and get this win. The money is all over the Bills right now, while the public is on the Dolphins off of this crazy win that they just put up. And I'm sure Dolphin fan is screaming, Super Bowl, baby. Fade the team that scored 70 here. Okay. The Dolphins wins. They beat the Chargers. I don't know how Staley has a job. I don't know how he survived that carousel last year. Pats, and the Broncos. This is the best pass rush that the Dolphins have faced so far. But like I said, if the Dolphins are able to win this game, we're going to be talking about them as Super Bowl favorites and pretty much probably the best team in the AFC. So give me Bills. They're at 2.5 right now. I'm seeing a lot of threes. Give me the Bills minus 2.5 as the official pick. Take it up to 3 if you have to. But I expect the Bills to be ready for this ball game here. Second pick of rookies picks. So we're moving on to number 3. What are we doing here? We have the Bengals traveling to the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium at noon. This line is tucked in right now at 2.5. So the Titans just got blown out. And I like their position here at home as a dog. I love Mike Vrabel at home as a dog. It's almost always an auto bet. I don't like to speak in absolutions, I guess. Like I'm just always going to take that number and I'm sharp about it. My problem with the Bengals is that the offense just does not look right. They don't look good. I think he's bothered by that calf, whatever's going on. They were able to muscle out the win yesterday against the Rams at home in prime time. Good for them. This is just a spot where I like to back a Tennessee team off of a bad loss with Mike Vrabel. He's going to fire the boys up for this one. I don't have a lot of analysis for this one. Give me Tennessee. Plus 2.5. Get to 3 if you can. Lock it up. Ricky's pick number 3. Tennessee Titans. And believe it or not, I ain't done yet. That's right. I'm not going to get out of here with just 3 picks this week. I'm going to give you a bonus pick. That's right. Bonus alert. That's right. Bonus pick. Here we go. You're not going to like it, though. You're going to hate this. Bet it if you want. Otherwise, just stick with the other 3. But for you degenerates out there that might be listening to me, we are going to the Broncos traveling to the Bears at Soldier Field. This line is 3.5 right now. 3.5. I'm seeing some 3s pop up right now. And I'm sure a lot of people are just like, bro, I don't want to watch this game. I want nothing to do with this game. The Broncos and the Bears. I'm not wasting my Sunday. And I don't blame you. You don't got to watch it. But if you're a gambler, you've got to bet this one. Give me the Chicago Bears plus 3.5 at home. The money, the tickets are all over the Denver Broncos. Everything. I am on an island out here by myself backing the Chicago Bears. Both of these teams just got blown out. Both of these teams are going to be motivated to win. The Bears, if they just stay out of the media this week, I think they can take care of business at home. We should be getting +4 or beyond right now. And we're not. Why? If anything, it's actually moving towards the 3, and everything is on the Broncos. What does that tell you? Books don't want to give you more value on the Bears. This is a fine position to take. I'm going to get on the island here. It's a lonely place to be. Give me the Bears plus 3.5 at home. If you don't get the hook, don't bet this. Okay, if you get this tomorrow on Wednesday and this is at +3, don't take it. I want the hook because I think the Broncos will probably drive down the field, kick a field goal at the end of the game to win the game. Give me the Chicago Bears as the bonus bet, Ricky's picks. All right, my friends, before I get out of here, remember, gamble responsibly. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please stick to your unit size. And I will see you in the trenches as we approach week 4 of the NFL season. This has been Ricky's Picks.